Now
So,
the
tell me what
TV's
you.
now.
Why is he so damn loud? Can you hear me? Do I need to
Yes,
get
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can hear you just fine.
loud as hell?
Yeah, you're right. It was loud. I was sitting there watching the movie. I was all into it.
That's crazy. You gonna bust your eardrums? That's wild.
Yeah,
What you was watching?
I was watching this new movie on Hulu. It's about this man trying to bring his wife back using AI. So, you already know that's going to end badly.
Cause of AI?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But here's what I'm going to say. Y'all say all this about black men, how we're coddled and all this other stuff, but I mean, we're the most thrown in prison
Mm.
and talking about abuse. And hold on now, don't can I let me speak,
What are you talking about? What are you
man?
talking about?
Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Hold
My
on,
ass is so used
sir.
to people
Sir,
jumping,
sir. Hold up,
jumping
hold
down
up,
my throat.
sir. Hold up. I didn't even say that, sir. You sure you turned the TV
Hey,
on? Are you
no,
okay?
no, I'm just saying. Every time I say something, I get people jump down my throat. So I just
Sir, you got some weird anxiety. Calm down. Ain't nobody cut you off, sir. Go ahead.
yes, ma'am.
This
We're the
nigga
most thrown in prison. Talking about anytime a black man does something, it gets blown up. But we are we are held to the highest of standards, and yes, I'm not saying we're all perfect. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying there are some bad black men out there, but most black men are held accountable for anything they do. Whether it's child, if you a deadbeat, you get held accountable with child support. You get thrown in jail. If if you commit a crime, and you commit a crime and you get told on, you get thrown in jail. You get put on papers. So I mean, how aren't we held accountable? I'm I'm done now.
I mean, so you saying, hold on real quick. So men do bad things and they go to prison and they got to pay child support for not supporting their kids. But the thing is, what about men who run off on their kids? Where is accountability for men who not in their kids' life? Because you're $300 a month, like it ain't gonna be enough for that child. Like, where's accountability for that?
So basically, what you're saying is you want the man to pay for a child for a child he possibly told the woman to abort, and you want the man to also be in that child's life for a
Hold up,
child he didn't want.
hold up, real quick. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
to be in 2025 and all these states is banning terminating pregnancies. To say that is fucking wild, right? But y'all be talking about just abort a baby like that don't impact a woman.
Oh no, yeah, that you're 100% correct.
But I'm not done.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't want to pay to play because that's your baby, but you feel some type of way because she didn't get an abortion. You feel like you shouldn't have to support that child. That's crazy.
No, I did not say that.
You
What
did say
I
that.
what I no,
You
what
said
I
that.
said no,
You
what
said
I
that.
said was, do you want the man to pay and be in the child's life? That's what I said. I did
You did
just
not say
paying,
that. That's not what you
paying is
said.
support.
Sir, you
Paying.
did not say that. You
Yes, I
said
did, madam. I
no,
did.
no,
Yes, I
pause. You
did.
said pause. You
Yes, ma'am.
said, sir, you said y'all want men to pay for babies for that they ask the woman to unalive, sir, or
Yes,
to terminate the
yes, to
pregnancy.
abort, and
Hold
I
up,
also said they did. I also
calm
said
the
that
fuck
they
down.
didn't want.
Sir, sir, calm the fuck down, sir. I'm talking.
All right.
Damn. Is this gonna be a thing? You amped up from that movie, sir. Calm the fuck down. Do some belly breathing while I'm talking.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Crazy. Sir, first of all, that's not what you said. I'm telling you what you did say. And the thing is, what I'm talking about, y'all abandon your children. Where's the accountability for abandoning your children? For children to be raised without fathers? For us to have all these motherfuckers walking around here with daddy issues, sir. Where's accountability for that?
Are you done talking?
Come on now. This
I'm just
is
asking.
like pulling teeth. Damn.
I'm just asking. So, like I said before, well, I didn't say this before. I'm saying this now.
I'm
Y'all
glad you're
choose,
saying it now.
y'all choose the worst men to have children with, and then expect them to be great fathers.
But hold up. Hold
Oh
up.
no, no, come on now. Did not. Don't let me
What the
finish.
fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Let me finish.
Sir?
What you mean by what the fuck is wrong with me?
What the fuck is wrong
You
with you?
you was about to cut me off.
Because you about to make a whole list of this is the thing. If we
The
ever
whole list, madam.
sir,
You didn't let me
sir,
finish.
sir, you want to make a bunch of points. We need to go through one point at a time, sir. That's how they work. Now
Man,
I forgot the
all the
stupid shit
points
you
go
just
together.
said. What you just say? You just said something crazy.
I didn't say
Oh
anything
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
I know what you say. You victim blame. So here's the
I
thing.
victim blame.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm victim blaming because
sir,
y'all choose
sir,
the worst people to have kids with.
sir, let
Come
me
on now.
talk. Damn,
Because
sir, I'm trying to talk. What the fuck? Calm down. That movie must got you on 100, sir. God damn. Anyway, sir, all right. I'm gonna make my point, but I said I'm gonna walk you through this shit. Damn. Where your daddy at? This man can't hear. He can't find a button. Lord, sir, where your daddy at, sir?
you asked me where my daddy was, and I told you 6 feet
You
under.
was on a
And I
mute.
said,
You was on mute. Yo, what the fuck? You was on mute.
"Oh well, I didn't
Sir,
press
you
it."
hey listen, sir, you up there. I can hear about your voice. I'm talking about when you grew up, was your daddy in the household, sir?
Yes, he was in the household for. Yes, he was in the household for 15 of my 18 years.
Where he was at the last three?
They my both they my parents decided to get divorced.
So when they got divorced, did your father cause you was what, 15?
Yes.
Your father was like, "Okay, son, you gonna be a grown man, and you gonna be grown in a couple years. Come on and live with me, so I can show you how to be a man, or whatever y'all be saying." He ain't do that.
No, he did not.
Where he go at
He went to Augusta, and I saw him on the weekends.
on the weekend? He went to he ended up being a weekend dad.
Yeah, because I
You
was
ain't want to spend
15.
more time with him.
The fifth, I was 15. What?
He
There
want
was
to,
nothing more he could
sir.
teach me.
You didn't want to spend more time with him.
Not really,
Why not?
because I didn't.
Why you ain't want to go with your father? Why you stay with your mother?
Because that's what the judge said to do.
No, at 15, you get a say. Why you ain't want to go with your father?
Because I didn't want to.
Why was you at 15, right? Because y'all be saying the daddy need to be there and all that. Why would you prefer to be in your mother's home and not your father's home?
Because just like most of these young boys you see on the internet at 15 years old, we didn't understand our father's discipline and why he did the things he did.
So you couldn't stand that motherfucker.
It's not that
You
I
was
could not
like,
stand
no,
him.
you was like, ain't no way I'm living with that motherfucker. I'm saying he was my mama.
Why? Listen, what did I just say?
That's what I heard. You said
No,
something
that's what
else.
you heard. But what did I say?
That's what you said.
What did I say?
I just repeated it.
No, you did not, madam. Come on now. Come on, ma'am. Stop with the bullshit now. Stop with the bullshit.
You was like, nah, I want to send my mama home. She got food over here.
No,
That's what you said.
that's not what I said, madam.
That's
See,
definitely what you
see,
said.
you said that this is why I didn't want to come on because I already knew what it was going to do. I already knew what it was going to devolve into. It was going to devolve into
I'm saying the quiet part.
You're not saying the quiet part. Your whole premise of your show is all black men bad. Oh, the blah blah blah. All they do is leave their kids, and not true. Most black fathers are.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You don't have to say
Not
it.
what I said.
You don't have to say it.
I didn't say
That's
that.
the point. You don't
But
have
I
to
didn't
say
say
it.
that.
You don't have
You
to
making
say
stuff
it.
up, sir. I didn't say
You
that.
don't have to say
I
it.
didn't say that. You making stuff up.
You
I
don't
said
have to say
I
it.
didn't say all fathers. I said your father. I
You don't
said
say
your
all,
father.
but you said black
No,
men.
I didn't say all. I said your daddy, sir.
Hold on.
I said your daddy,
Some
sir.
black men. You didn't say
No,
some
no.
black
I
men.
said
Did you
your
say some
daddy.
black men?
I
Did you
said
say
your
some
daddy.
black men?
I said your daddy.
And yes, you're trying to make it seem like my dad, but I
Your
tried
dad,
to
you
tell
didn't
you
even want to go with him. You was 15. You didn't want to go with your
because I
daddy.
didn't want to go.
You right? I know you wanted to be with your mother.
Yes, because
All right, there you go.
Oh yes, but the reason you said what was the reason I gave you?
I don't know, you said some bullshit, but I know what happened.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, some bullshit. Look at you. You can't even repeat what
It's
the fuck I
fine.
said.
I get you hurt.
That's the bullshit. You can't even repeat what the fuck I said because you're not listening.
You didn't even want to go live with your daddy. You hurt. That man hurt you. Damn. That's crazy.
Hey, man.
You
Hey.
had to live with your mama. I got it.
Whatever you say, madam, trust me.
So, and then you trying to say, oh, women choose. So did your mother choose bad?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Did your mother choose poorly?
Did when it comes to you know what I'm saying, did your mother choose poorly?
Sir.
Did your mother choose poorly?
Not you trying to turn it back on me, sir.
You know, hold on. You talk about my dad.
Your daddy left.
Listen, where's your dad? Where's your dad?
Your daddy left when you was
Where's
15.
your dad? Where's your dad? To tell me where your dad is.
Sir.
You just said, hold on. Did you spend any time with your father?
Sir.
At all? Did you spend any time with your father at all? At all? Any? Growing up?
Sorry.
From the ages of 0 to 5, 5 to 10. Did you spend any time with your father? Let me know.
Hold on. You wanted to say your mother chose badly. He is hurt.
I'm not hurt at all.
No. You want to say these women chose badly, but your mama chose badly.
But they did.
Your mama chose poorly.
And you know what?
Your mama,
you know what? I'm gonna give you what you. I'm gonna give you what you want.
Sir,
she did.
Your mother chose poorly.
So what? So and she chose poorly. Now what? Now what? Now what? She chose poorly. Now what?
Now you got a chip on your shoulder about all women. Oh, they must have chose poorly because your mama chose poorly.
No, because they do.
We ain't all your mama.
Because they do.
We not all your mama.
Well, please, madam.
We not all your mama.
Scammers.
You ain't not.
That's who y'all having babies
with, sir.
Y'all having babies with drug dealers and scammers? True or false?
Watch your mouth. Sir,
True or false?
You gotta watch your mouth, sir. Hold up, pause. We on TikTok. You gotta watch your mouth, sir. Just because your mother chose poorly, don't mean all women chose poorly. Just because your daddy ran out when you was 15, you ain't see that man every weekend. That's a lie. You know it. You ain't see that man every weekend. Be for real. He left you in the house with nothing to eat. What he do? But your mama, sir. We talking about your mama. I'm your mama. Okay. We not your mama. All right, but this we ain't gonna get too far. You got too much pent up aggression, sir. Not you coming on my panel being an angry black man. That's crazy. Mr. Todd is losing shit. He's talking right now, y'all. He don't know he on mute. No, that's a troll. Who let that troll up here?
Where's your
women
dad?
without fathers or husbands?
Yeah. You said what?
Where's your dad?
Where your dad?
I told you he was 6 feet under. Where's your dad?
You ever to confront him?
Where's your dad?
Why you want to meet my dad?
No, I don't want to meet your dad. I want to know from the ages of from them 0 to 18, was your dad in your life?
Sir, Why
Yes
you
or
worried
no?
about my
It's a
dad?
yes or no question.
Why you worried about my dad?
It's a yes or no question.
Why you yelling?
It's a yes or no question. Answer yes or no.
That's why your TV was so loud. You can't
Yes
hear.
or
Yo,
no.
my man, she baiting you, bro. Just fall back. For real.
I already know what she's doing. That's the funny part.
She baiting you. You falling
That's
right
why
for
your
it.
TV was loud as shit. You can't hear.
Bro, I already know. That's why I didn't want to come up. I already know what the fuck she was doing.
Nah, you can speak your
Yet
piece,
again,
but she
We don't
baiting
have
you.
to
You just
yell.
falling for it.
Hold up. Nobody told him to yell. He's yelling on his own. That shit is crazy.
why don't you answer my question then?
My dad. You want to know about my dad? I ain't gonna tell you
What?
about my dad. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah,
Because
tell me
we
why. Tell me why.
online.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Calm down.
Tell me why. I'm listening. I'm listening. Tell me why. I'm listening.
So hey Tara, can I pause this for a second? Is it allowed?
Hold up, George Mile. Hold up, sir. Now,
Sir, you're not answering my question, madam.
hold up. Now
Madam.
you mad at black women because your
I'm
mother
not
chose
mad
it.
at no black women.
You
I'm
mad
married to a black
your
woman.
mother- Sir, you are mad
that.
because your mother chose pork.
Madam, you're
Now,
not answering my
you want
question.
to know about my dad,
No,
so you
madam,
bad talk black man.
madam,
But you
madam,
claim I was
madam.
black man.
Okay, okay. So what's so hard about you saying that you had a good dad? What's so hard about you saying you had a good dad?
You're missing
What's
the
so
plot.
hard about you saying you had a good dad?
lost the plot, sir.
What's so hard about you saying that you had a good dad?
You are
not
missing
answering my question.
the plot, sir. Calm down.
Oh my
We're
God,
talking
you're not
about
listening.
Men are not held accountable for
You're
that.
not
action,
listening. Why don't you answer my question? From the ages of
Mr. Todd, I'm gonna put you back on mute real quick. All right, y'all. Y'all may not know this because there weren't that many people in here. When Mr. Todd first came up here, y'all, his TV was loud as shit. I said,
yes,
"Turn
my
that up."
TV was loud.
Oh, no, I'm
and
still
you told me to
talking. I'm still talking, Mr. Todd.
turn it down.
I'm telling them the story now. I can do it on my own. I said, turn that TV down. I said, you gonna bust your eardrum. Now this man proceed to talk on the panel, yelling.
Yeah.
You yelling. Chill out, Mr. Todd. Now he yelling in the fucking phone. You yelling in the goddamn phone. What is wrong?
Because you won't answer the question.
Your hearing is fucked up.
Yes, my hearing is fucked up. You said
I
it
can
right.
tell. Look how
You can
yell.
tell. Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Relax.
Answer the question.
Sir.
Answer the question.
Sir,
Ma'am.
I brought you down. You see how I did that? I'm a
Ma'am.
leader. See how I brought you down? I'm a motherfucking leader.
You're not a leader. Please answer the fucking question. Leaders know how to answer the right questions.
I'm gonna beat you. Y'all saw how I brought him down though. I'm a fucking leader. What's up?
Leaders answer the right questions.
No, I want you to do some belly breathing.
Leaders answer the right questions. Can you answer?
Mr. Todd, now I'm gonna have to drop you, Mr. Todd. You got to come back.
That's fine.
Go ahead, crash out.
Crash out about what? About?
I muted you, sir. It's not your turn to talk no more.
Why don't you answer my question?
Sir, it's not your turn to talk no more. It's other people up here.
Ma'am, answer my question.
Sir, you lost the plot.
No, I didn't lose anything, madam.
No, what, sir? What point?
Madam.
What point we trying to make?
Madam.
Where your wife at?
Oh, she's at work.
Oh, that's why you like that.
Like what?
You unsupervised.
Yep, I'm all here by myself, unsupervised.
Yeah,
sure
you
am.
act like you giving
That's right.
behavior.
I am. Where's your husband? Where's your dad?
Sir,
where's your husband and your dad?
You need
where's your husband and your dad?
You need a chaperone.
Where's your husband and your dad?
Where is your chaperone?
Where is your husband and your dad?
Bro, she just baiting you in, bro. Just falling for it.
Oh,
bro.
I try to move
told him,
on.
bro. She baiting you, bro. Just let it go.
No, you're not trying to say I'm baiting him. I told
Yeah,
him
you definitely have a condescending tone.
Oh, look at you. Mute up. Mute up. It's not your turn to talk. Go
No,
ahead, Sosaline. Go ahead,
I'm just saying you
Sosaline.
definitely baiting the men
No, hold
pretty
up,
deep.
sir. All right, I'll let you circle jerk in a second. Go ahead, Sosaline.
Wow, this is funny. Do I answer the prompt or?
Yeah. What else are you going to answer?
Oh yeah. All right, it's one of them. All right, men are problematic because they aren't held accountable for their actions. I don't believe that. Most men are held accountable for their actions because if we weren't, then it's repercussions for our actions. Men can't really lash out, and if we do lash out or crash out, things happen. Whether we end up getting locked up, incarcerated, behind bars, or in
Yeah.
jail.
What you mean? What
Most men
happened?
understand other men, and the way how we handle things is, with men, if we got physical for it or we walked away from certain situations. As far as with women aren't held accountable for their actions because women seek fit with their emotions of what they do on the matter
All
of how they
right.
feel.
All right. So do me a favor, because you're not using examples, okay? So
I,
you said, because you said y'all get the consequences, but you didn't talk about the actions. What type of actions are y'all taking
if
to get
if
those
if
consequences?
if I was to act up or crash out, meaning that go in the store and I was upset about something, so maybe somebody rung up the wrong item, I screamed on somebody, I threatened them, or I act in rage. What happens to me? I end up going to jail. Someone end up
That is
saying,
unhinged behavior.
but still, that's
That's like
accountable
me.
for my
Hold
action, the
on.
way
That's
I
like, hold
acted.
on for a
So
second. That's
therefore,
like me saying, sir, listen to what I'm saying. That's like me saying, oh, sometimes I be having an attitude. If I decide to have an attitude and I'm out here and I'm just swinging on people, now they want to give me a consequence. You hear how crazy that sounds?
how is that crazy? Women do
That's
it
the
all the
dumbest
time.
shit ever.
Mr. Todd,
That's the
no,
dumb.
no,
It,
no. It is not your turn to talk. Let him talk. Go
I'm
ahead,
just giving you
Sophia.
a fair example. If I was to do something, of course I got to be held accountable. Any man. Men don't act problematic. If a man acts problematic, that means he doesn't know how to deal with his emotions or the actual problems that come at hand.
Okay, so what do we do in society to hold those men accountable?
That's something that they have to deal with internally.
Okay, and how are men who are struggling with that internally held accountable in our society?
they're put in jail.
Okay, what happens, Mr. Todd? Damn. So Celine.
Now he's right about that though.
Okay, all right, they put in jail. All right. But the thing you're missing is that they're put in jail after they cause people harm. So even the consequence does not come until somebody is harmed, until someone is attacked, until someone is unalive. Like someone is harmed. It's like y'all skipping over that part. How we
So,
hold it, sir?
hold on.
No, I'm still
So
talking. How are we holding those men accountable before he even gets to the fucking prison, sir? What would keep men from lashing out? How do
So
we
you trying to
stop
say
men?
that you want to punish men?
You lost. What you think, so Celine?
say that again, repeat the question again.
My bad. We was rudely interrupted. Here's the thing. If you're saying that, oh yeah, the consequences they gotta go to prison. But the fact is people are still harmed in the process, right? How do we hold them accountable before that even happens? If it's somebody you care about and they are harmed by someone, and then it's like, oh, it's all good because that person went to prison. Why is it nothing to put their behavior in check before prison even enters the room?
But
Why you saying they have
that,
something?
most men don't even know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most men don't even tap into their emotions, and the reason why we don't do that is because we were not allowed to do that. Most men are actually silenced with their emotions. You wouldn't even know. You could be dealing with someone that has emotional issues or be psychotic. You wouldn't even know it because in that form he was never allowed to say anything about it because he was shunned or shushed about his emotions. Men are
Okay, so
not.
those
Men don't
men,
talk about that because a lot of things that we try to talk about or we say, it's weaponized. So
Okay.
we don't really
Hold on, hold on,
express
hold on,
those
hold on, hold
emotions.
on. Sir, hold on real quick.
I'm just telling you the truth
All
from a
right, so
man's
men
point of
have,
view.
listen, men got
And I'm pretty
repressed
sure any man would agree with me with that.
Sir, listen what I'm saying. All right, men have repressed emotion. Okay. So where's the accountability for men to do something about that?
What do you mean when there's the
So
accountability?
when people repress their emotions, they're going to be a ticking time bomb.
Correct.
That would, the behavior you talked about, that men would essentially can go out and cause harm to people before they even go to the prison. They're causing harm in real time. They're posing a threat to people. No matter what the case is, the reason for it, the fact is that type of behavior can lead to people losing their lives, to people being in like serious accidents that could alter their lives. How do we hold those men accountable besides saying, well, they went through something?
Seek counseling. They would have to do that. You can't tell a
Okay, and
person.
that's the problem. There's no accountability for men to go to counseling.
I don't know. That's subjective, to be honest with you.
Hold up. Are you
Most of the,
saying, hold up, is there accountability for men to go to counseling?
there
Um,
is accountability. That depends on the man. But as far as that, even with our community, with the black community, people don't even believe in that. They don't believe in
So,
counseling.
okay, so instead of trying
I'm,
to
I'm just
argue, hold up, instead of trying to just disagree with me,
I'm not
it
trying to
sounds,
disagree
hold
with
up,
you.
pause,
I just said that
pause,
was
pause,
subjective.
pause,
Subjective.
pause, pause. It sounds like you agree with me, sir. There's no accountability for them to do that. And even when men go to this counseling you're talking about, the times that they are going to counsel, whether it's court appointed or somebody holding them accountable, they then go to counseling and they learn manipulation tactics that then they then use to cause more harm.
oh my God. So you're trying to say even when they are held accountable?
Go ahead, Jordan's mom. Sir, you are a loose cannon. You the man he talking
That's what you're
about.
trying to say.
Go ahead, Jordan's mom.
So, so hey, Tara. Mr.
Yeah.
Todd, it's my turn, respectfully. I don't wish to argue. I just wish to be able to answer the prompt uninterrupted. So if you could, restrain yourself, I'll be gone in a moment. Um, so Tara, I wanted to point out something that we haven't talked about in a while. You know how when we talk
Get out
about
of my face.
are you? Could you mute him, Tara? I don't argue.
Mr. Todd, calm down.
Yeah. So let me tell you something that we don't talk about very often, and I'm gonna say this very candidly, and I apologize in advance. This is not to trigger anyone. This is not to hurt any feelings. This is just me answering the prompt based on my personal experience and my professional assessment. When you talk about the lack of accountability, let me tell you what lens I have seldom looked through this through. I have seldom looked through topics like this through the lens of a young boy. And the reason why that's important is because where do the crash outs begin, Tara? They begin in the young boys. They begin in home when they can't have their way and they have a whole tantrum and they punch a hole in the wall. They begin in school, when they have behavior problems because they can't get their way, because no one has ever told them what they can and cannot do or what the standard should be. No one has ever demanded that they control themselves or that they utilize that they exercise self-awareness. What also happens in the schools is if someone is 9 years old, how many times can you suspend a 9 year old? And what would be the benefit of suspending them? The truth is that there really is no benefit for suspending someone over behavior. Because if that were the case, there would be no children, very few children in elementary school. These young boys learn at a young age that they can be disruptive, they can be emotional, they can be, little terrorists. And in doing so, what do they get? They get pulled out of class and put into the library. They get sent to the relaxation room. Sometimes even the counselors give them treats. They have these little bracelets that they give them that automatically wrap around their arm, little toys that light up, special pencils with glitter and all of that. What is that, Tara? Aren't those treats? Like how people do pets, how they train a dog. That's what is behavior. So that is why when they become someone who's 35 or 40 and have these discussions with us, they still have the mentality that there should be some treat available to him. If he should somehow manage to govern himself, you know what I'm saying, to collect his emotions and to behave like a civilized human being, that there should be some treat. But the difference is what the treat becomes. They think the treat should become a woman. It should become the ability to sleep with a woman. That is where these men have their life and their future twisted because they think that everything in life is transactional. And for every time that he pisses and puts the seat down, he thinks that he deserves a parade. For every time, you know what I'm saying, that he doesn't crash out, he thinks he deserves a parade. They cannot even acknowledge in an open, mature discussion that it is problematic the way that men cannot seem to restrain their anger, their indifference, their disappointment. How is it that something disappoints you, and because you're disappointed, you become violent? That does not even correlate together. If you're disappointed, your heart is hurt. You're sad. You're not violent. Violent becomes a choice. It becomes a go to option because you cannot regulate yourself. Even in conversation, you can't wait your turn. My father told me a man who can't control his mouth often at times has difficulty return controlling his hands. I came up here to say to the gentleman, I challenge any of you in this moment. By my clock, it is 12:29. I challenge any of you in this moment. I will get on, if you have a secondary device, I will get on my secondary device. I will call my father if one of you will call your father.
Yeah, a
Any,
lot of them can't call their fathers. And I made the comment before about like the way that behavior intervention in schools do treat children like animals and giving them the treat you're referring to, like the positive reinforcement, and it does encourage the behavior to the point where like in a classroom where when they start misbehaving, it becomes like a negotiation tactic. Like, oh, I'll behave if you do this, if this, you do that.
yes,
So then you have to incentivize. It gets to the point where educators are incentivizing children, and the interesting part is you have some children who can have like a goal that they set, and they can like if they have the weekly behavior chart, you can set it on a Monday, and then by Friday you do an update. But these children who get this type of intervention, you have to give them the intervention the same fucking day.
listen, it's, I agree with all of that, but let me tell you, it's even worse than that. The children learn to manipulate the system because they're
Yeah,
incentivized
that's
to offer.
the negotiation is the manipulation. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but I just want to make this one point if I could. They manipulate it to the point where they extort affection as well. They want you to hug them. They want you to give them the fist bump. They want the warmth of the woman, you know, as an exchange for their behavior. They learn to control the narrative, or the behavior becomes more excessive. The point I'm trying to make is the very same thing that you see in these 8 and 9 year olds, you see it in these 38 and 39 year olds.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
that is why I said to them, this is my challenge to them in this moment. You know what I'm saying? You need
They're not
get
gonna
your
call their
second,
fathers. They're
yeah,
not
they,
gonna call their fathers. But let me say something real quick, because like yeah, it is about all connection. So the connection, like one of the things that you could do, which is annoying, is like having to check in on like a Monday, because a lot of times what happens is neglect. So they think that, oh, just because the parents are home they're not being neglected, but the issue, this happens way before even entering the school, because when young boys in our society are told they're not supposed to have certain feelings, emotions, or expressions or behaviors or whatever like that, it's a part of themselves and they're not able to develop, which is why they have this emotional delay. That's also at a really young age, so they're disassociated from themselves, but they do want that connection. So then they start formulating a personality that they think will get them some type of level of acceptance. So like it starts way before they even enter school.
And I agree. And I think that it creates in them a type of arrested development. When you add these factors to the fact that many of them have no real male role model whatsoever, not to mention no interaction with their fathers, it becomes a toxic stew that is their life. And what happens with a stew? A stew is similar to grits. It can simmer for forever, forever. And that's what happens in these people. There's no change. There's no improvement without a severe intervention by a qualified therapist. They become something that simmers all the time.
The only thing I would say, I don't necessarily like. I personally don't believe the fathers are necessary because we have a lot of successful men who don't have fathers there. The problem is when they are out of touch, the emotional delay that I'm talking about. So when you say arrested development, it's the emotional delay. It's just like define exactly what part of the development has been stunted. They need a caregiver that gives them a safe space where they can like express those feelings and understand the spectrum of those emotions. It doesn't always have to be the father, and that's the language I think we need to be careful with because then it's like, oh, especially in a world where single mothers are on the rise, like, oh, if the father's not there, then you have to find another father. No, in society we have all types of role models. They need positive role models, not just men. They need positive role models. They need a safe space and somebody who can give them that level of validation, allow them to be confident enough to develop their own individual personality.
I don't disagree with that. I think I also said a role model when there's the absence of a role model, most especially the father. I think that it can be either or. I'm totally in agreement. And um, oftentimes, if it's just a caring person, as you said, a caring caregiver, that's interchangeable. If that person is present throughout, it makes a huge difference as well. I don't disagree with any of that.
Go ahead, Infinite. You want to say something?
Yeah, I'm here. Like,
Like
think you
what?
putting off?
That was
Well,
fast. What? Hold on. What part was general?
well. I mean, I ain't got out of percentage yet. You already cut me off, but
No, I
the
was
thing
saying
is,
it was a bunch of facts. I'm confused about what part you said was a generalization. That's all.
it was a generalization that you was trying to make facts. So not all
Like what?
men, not all men, put their hands on people when they get upset.
I didn't say
That's
that.
well,
That wasn't. That state.
you was
That
generalizing it. You
that
didn't say
generalization.
all.
Hold up, pause. That generalization was not made.
Okay, well, I disagree. I'll just say that.
Well, you disagree with something that wasn't said. Okay.
No, I disagree with you saying that you didn't generalize men into one category.
No,
You
you
said
said
that.
that. I said that all men put their hands on people when they get upset. I never said that.
No, I said that you said that basically you was generalizing that all men put
No,
their
I
hands
didn't.
on people.
I didn't generalize that.
Well, I disagree. That's why I say I disagree. I think you did.
That's gaslighting. You telling me I
No,
said
yes.
no? You
I
telling me
said I
something happened
disagree.
that didn't happen. That's clearly gaslighting.
Well, define gaslighting without using
I
the
just
word.
said you're not listening. I just said it.
Oh, okay. So you gonna let me get a sentence off, or are we gonna just? I'm gonna
You
have to go
you
back
now
and
you being
forth.
combative. You just said a
No,
few.
I'm asking. Can I speak without being interrupted? Because she got a good little time, and I was just
No,
asking
no,
for the
you
same grace.
misrepresented what I said. I'm going to say something about that. I'm not going to allow you to just talk if you misrepresenting what was said.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about you misrepresenting men.
She talked about me with
No, let him
and
finish making his
then
point.
they talked about fathers.
Let him finish making his point.
So also, I just think that there are people out there that lose the control of their hands. I do agree with one of the things that the lady said when she said that if a man can't control his tongue or his mouth, then he does have a hard time controlling his hands, and I will find that that's true. Like if somebody's rampant off the mouth, then they, what I'm saying. But that's true for a lot of people, not just men. That's true for women and men and women. But I find that a lot of women generalize men and put them in the category of a angry man that just is crazy and loses their mind when they get angry. I think that also our anger is judged we're scrutinized way more when it comes to us just getting angry about something and having a disagreement. I think that is blown up 10 times more than what it really is. And
Give us an
we can,
example.
well, I'm just saying, I'll just say that. I'll give you
I
more
mean,
examples if you want, but I like to expound on my point
Listen, hold up, real
without
quick.
you
Before
kind of
you
being
expound on
forced
the,
to say
sir,
exactly
sir,
what you want me to say.
before
You
you
gonna just
expound
cut
on your
me off like
point,
that
sir,
and just
before you
think that
expound on your point, you have to tell us what you're talking about.
I
Y'all,
will, but I
you're
speak a certain
being
way. You
vague.
can't
We
tell
don't,
me how to speak.
we
I'm just
can't
saying
follow you if you're being vague, sir.
examples,
I
but
literally asked you to give clarification. You're refusing to do
I'll
so.
give it. I'm not gonna speak exactly how you want me to speak if that's okay.
I'm not trying to control how you speak. I'm saying you need to give clarification.
I will give you clarity, but you gotta allow me to speak to give you that.
I mean, if you want to just give points and no clarity, we're not going to know what you're talking about. But go ahead.
I get angry. You
I
can't
never said
get.
that. Again, I
Well,
never
I'm
said
asking you a question. I'm just saying,
no.
you
Just so you know, the gentleman below you had made a point about men explosive behavior and the consequence they get is prison. And then I was explaining to him that in those cases harm is caused. I mean, I say all men, so it's kind of hard to kind of go for
right, but that's what I'm saying.
everybody.
Like he was saying, somebody was in the store and he was arguing in the store. You went immediately to somebody being injured.
So
That's what I said.
why
Where
would
did
that
you get
man?
that from?
Okay,
Where did
okay.
you?
If that's what you perceive, why is
Well, no,
someone
that's what
getting
you
angry?
said. And then we got into
Sir,
the prison
sir,
talk,
I'm
and
trying to help
then
you clear your confusion. Okay,
I'm not
if that's how
confused.
you,
You
if
went to
that's how
that
you perceive
scenario, is what
it,
I'm
hold
saying.
up, hold
Why
up.
go to that
If
scenario? Is
that's
what I'm.
how you perceived it, then why
I
would he
didn't
then
perceive
say,
it. You
sir?
said
Why
it.
would an angry man go to prison? Because he said that he would go to prison, and that would be the consequence. Why would somebody go to prison simply for being angry?
Well, because then somebody might say that you was causing a public, disturbance. There's a lot of different things. Once they get there and you're still upset, then they might say that, hey, let me put you in handcuffs. Oh, well, you were resisting, or without violence or whatever. It's a lot of reasons. But what I'm saying is
The
that you
disturbance
immediately
is
went.
the harm, sir. The disturbance
Right.
is the
Who said
harm.
there was harm just because a man got angry? That's what I'm saying. That's what you put into the story. He never mentioned anybody harming anybody. He just
Now
said
he
a
said
man.
going to prison. If he went to prison, there has to be a charge for going to prison. There was a harm caused. What you're talking about, if he's being falsely accused or something?
No, I'm saying that you just said you going to prison. He never mentioned nobody harming nobody. That's what you injected into the conversation. You do it
Right,
so
it's
slightly that you
insinuated
kind of
by saying
you
that the
don't even
man went to
remember.
prison. Hold up. It's insinuated by saying that the man went to prison, sir.
That don't mean that he harmed nobody though.
Just because you angry does not mean you go to prison. But if he say that man was angry because he's repressing his emotions and is explosive, and that leads him to go to prison, some harm was caused.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, he never mentioned nobody hitting, harming nobody. He just mentioned the man being angry. And he was trying to explain his point.
I didn't
Then
even
you jumped
say that
to,
it had to be hitting. I said harm was caused just now to give clarification.
well, what type of harm are we talking about? Since you want examples, but you're not gonna give any. I mean,
I literally gave an example.
can you give me an example now without trying to?
If you would listen, you wouldn't have to
Okay,
keep
so
asking me to repeat
you're
myself.
talking in circles,
Go
but
ahead
I
and
get
make
it.
your point.
You're a professional, circle talker, and that's what happens and it's also a trigger thing. You're trying to like trigger anger. I can see what you're
Sir, I
doing.
don't know why you feel angry.
I'm
I
not
don't know
angry.
why you feel
I just
angry. I'm not
disagree.
trying to
I'm not
no,
angry at
I'm not
all. I
trying
just
to
disagree.
trigger anger. I'm trying to give clarification.
Well, if you want someone to speak, you can't, for one, tell them how to speak, and then you can't cut them off. Like you let old girl go for 3 minutes uninterrupted.
Actually I interjected a few times to give
At the
clarification.
end, after her 3 minutes spill, yes, you did, but you allow her to get her clear idea out without
Because
being
she gave an
interrupted every two
explanation.
words.
She gave an
That's all I'm saying.
explanation. She gave clarification. She was not vague. She gave an examples. She broke it
Well,
down. Sir,
you
the
don't
thing
think that
is,
you're
you
being a
cannot
little bit
compare your
judgmental?
communication to the
I'm
communication of the
asking.
person who was just on the panel. They are not the same.
Well, I'm speaking to you because you're speaking to me, but I couldn't get my sentence off. That's why we're having this conversation. So you're pretty much blocking it by saying, oh, I need you to explain that more. And then you'll go into you're very crafty at what you do. But I will say that it's not a good thing what you're doing. You get on here, you say bad things about men. If they try to defend themselves, then you cut them off, and then you mute them, and then you tell them, "Oh, you got to control yourself. But you haven't controlled yourself
I did not
not
mute
one
you
time,
one time, sir. I have not muted
man."
you once.
Ma'am, you muted me earlier. I was on mute the whole time when that lady was speaking
When
to
you
you.
come, because there's an order.
Okay, see,
There's
so
an
now
order.
you saying
So
you
no, I'll
see how
explain it
you
to
moved the
you.
goalpost. First you said you
No,
didn't mute me. Now you saying it
no,
was an
hold up.
order.
No,
Which
no,
one is
no,
it?
no. Stop for a
That's
second.
all I'm saying.
What happens is when you come on a panel, you're supposed to wait to and be introduced to the conversation before you join the conversation. If you came up here initially off of mute, then yeah, I would have muted you. I'm not going to mute you while you're talking. I'm listening. You yourself and Mr. Todd all interrupted me when I was talking, and I didn't even mute y'all for doing that.
Well, I think that in the midst of me trying to explain my idea, you kind of like cut me off several times, and I don't think that I understand you're the host, but it's also still even a
Yeah, we
certain
lost the plot.
it's a certain level of respect
But
for
do
even
you
the host.
see
Like
that
if
we have
somebody come to
lost
your house, you just don't
plot?
talk
We
over
have
them and cut
you
them
are
off because they at your
entitled.
house.
You
You
are
know what I mean?
entitled. Now we have lost the plot.
No, it's not about being
You haven't.
entitled.
No,
It's
it
just
is
about
entitled.
respect.
You're not
It's
saying
about being
anything.
respectful.
You're
If
throwing a
someone,
tantrum.
I'm not
You're
even.
throwing a tantrum because I asked you to give clarification.
No, I'm not throwing a tantrum. I'm just saying
You
because you
are
allow
throwing a
me to speak
tantrum. No.
without
You
being
even said, well,
interrupted.
you let her speak. She gave clarification.
Right. So
You did not.
let me
If
speak,
you
and
want to
I
make
could
your
give my.
point and you don't want to be, let's all right, let's set the standard, sir. Let's set the
Stop
criteria. There's a
interrupting
rubric
me. You
now.
can't tell me how to
Give
explain my
clarification.
point.
Are you disappointed because you have to clarify and you can't just go
No,
on and on with no one
I
knows
can
what you're talking
clarify in
about?
my own way. You have your way of clarifying, I have my way of clarifying, right? You can't tell me that because I didn't give a certain amount of examples that I'm not clarifying.
Yes, I can. Yes,
That's
I
your
can. And
opinion.
I did. And I did.
That's your interpretation, but that doesn't make it
I
true. Now
did.
you're
I
gaslighting.
did that.
Now you're
No, I'm not
gaslighting.
getting gaslighting. I did do that.
Stop gaslighting.
That's not gaslighting. You don't know what gaslighting is. You're using
You're
words you don't
gaslighting now.
understand.
And you're just doing it out of anger.
Me telling
Calm
you I
down.
did something is not
Just calm
gaslighting.
down and let people
Now
talk.
I'm not calm. Okay, you're
Because the
combative.
thing is, if someone has a different idea than you, then you won't let them get
Nope,
their
that's not
speech
what
off. You
happened.
won't.
I said give clarification
But that's your way of interrupting me in a subtle way. That's
because
what you're doing.
we
You're trying to
can't
interrupt me
follow the
by
conversation and we don't know what you're talking about. So you
you
want to
gotta
go
let me
on, you
speak.
want to go on for 3 minutes and talk and no one understands what you're saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's what you want to project. That's
No,
not
no,
what's
no.
happening.
Go ahead. Make your
That's
point.
your interpretation.
Make your point.
Oh yeah, you talked the point out of me now. You good at what you
No,
do. I
you're
give you that.
combative. You're combative.
No, I just disagree. Like I said,
No,
I just
you're not
disagree.
disagreeing. You're being combative.
I've said
The
nothing
man he was
harmful.
talking about, the angry man, I bet is you. Have you ever been in prison?
No, ma'am, I have never been to prison.
Well, you acting like somebody who's been to prison.
Oh, okay. I'm
Do you
not
know
emotional
that?
at
Do
all.
you
I
know
might
that
have
being
emotions,
caged
but
up
I'm not
makes you more
emotional.
aggressive?
I'm just being
You're
honest.
displaying the behaviors of someone who's been in prison.
No, ma'am, I
Okay,
don't
it didn't
have.
have to be all this. You came in and said, "Oh, she's trying to do such and such." You came in with a
No, what
bias.
I'm saying is, just
No, no,
don't
no, no,
interrupt me
sir.
politely.
You
That's
came in
not
with a
hard.
bias. You came in. You try to gaslight me and say something. You misheard. You
Every man's gonna
misunderstood. I,
seem
and now I'm gonna mute
emotional or
you. I'm gonna
whatever.
mute you. You misheard. You didn't understand what's going on. I gave you clarification, told you that did not happen. You didn't double down and say it did happen. I told you it was gaslighting. You didn't do a hissy fit. I said make your point. You went to making your point, but then we didn't know what the fuck you were talking about because you were being vague. I stopped you and said give clarification. If I'm talking and someone say, hey, can you give examples so we can understand what you're saying? I'm like, okay, absolutely. Either you're unable to do it or you're just being combative. Both ways, we're not getting anywhere. At this point, you've lost the plot. Now you're being passive aggressive by saying, oh, you're angry and you trying to get your shit off because you have nothing to add to the conversation. You were in the comments saying, I got something to say. I got something to say. You were not even listening. Maybe that's why you misconstrued what actually happened. If you like to make a point and add to the conversation, feel free to do so. If I don't know what the fuck going on and the people are confused in the live, I will stop you, ask you to give clarification, then you may proceed. If you are unable to do that, just state that, sir.
I'm capable of doing that,
All
but
right, go
it's
ahead.
very difficult
No, just go ahead and
without
do it.
someone. Okay, there you go again. See what I'm saying? No one is gonna be cool with that. But what I'm saying is that men are capable of being angry without being violent. Just like earlier, you just you started cussing and being irate. I would say that that's
Let
behavior
me
that
stop you because you
displays.
comment on me. I'm grown,
No,
sir.
I'm just being honest.
I am grown.
That's
I am
yeah, but
grown.
that doesn't mean that we
No,
can just
I'm
do and say
grown.
what we
All
want
right,
just
we'll
because
try
we're
this
grown.
again. Sir, I'm a grown ass woman. I am on a platform that acknowledges that I'm a grown ass woman, and I will talk as I see fit. If you have a problem with that, then maybe this is not the conversation for you. Do you actually have something to add to the conversation? Or are you just going to keep doing this ring around the rosy shit that you're doing? Because you're not saying anything.
I'll say it again from the top because I don't think you're getting it.
But
Not
see,
all
you
men,
starting off with being passive aggressive.
not all men display violence when they get angry.
Got
Some
it.
people just trying to get their point across. It doesn't have to be a violent act. Not most men I know and it was raised by didn't display that. Now, was there certain levels of anger in the home when things wasn't done, or if there was a point that's being made out of discipline? Of course. Sometimes you treat a situation softer. Sometimes you might raise your
Can
voice.
you provide an example?
Oh well, let's say if a child doesn't clean their room, you don't go flipping off the handle because they didn't clean their room. For one, you tell them, "Hey, I told you to do this." You break it down to the child and explain, "Hey, you didn't either do what I told you to do, or you know what you're supposed to do and you didn't do it."
That's poor parenting.
Okay. So, all in all, black men don't always lose their control of themselves. And also, growing up as a young man, when I was a young man, I was taught by several people about self-control. I wasn't given treats like a dog or a pet. I was never, coddled into, trying to behave better. But I was told that if I did something wrong, what my actions were that were wrong and how I should correct my behavior. I wasn't, pacified or coddled or anything to make me feel like I was a pet or I needed a reward for, what I'm saying, doing right or
Did
doing
you have a
wrong.
504 plan when you was in school?
A 504
Did you have
plan.
an IEP when you was in school?
I'm not familiar with those terms.
Okay, so let me just explain to you. What she was addressing are a specific group of students. She's not talking about all of the students in the school. She's literally talking about students who had documented accommodations and modifications for their behavior. And therefore, certain interventions they would get to help control their behavior so they could be with their other classmates without causing harm. So you don't have to take that
Oh,
personal
okay.
if that does not apply to you.
So you're speaking about kids that have mental disabilities.
It's not a mental disability, it's a behavior issue.
Well, the behavior issue stems from a mental illness or disability.
It could be an intellectual delay, sir. It could be other things
Right,
too.
but it's
No,
the
no, no.
intellectual
It's
delay
not.
is
No,
a
no,
form
no.
of
No, no,
mental
sir,
disability.
sir, sir. Some students are given
Ma'am,
504
ma'am,
plans.
ma'am, ma'am.
See how you being combative? Some students are given
I can say
504
you're being
plans.
combative when you keep saying
All right,
sir. Like,
no, it's not all about you. Some students could be given a 504 plan simply because they experience some type of trauma. For example, a parent leaving, someone being unalive, some type of experience in their childhood. They would get a temporary accommodation and intervention so that behavior disappears. That's how children communicate through their behavior. So sometimes some interventions are given to help gear their behavior in the way it should be going, sir.
well, I respect what you're saying, but what I'm saying about the particular topic we're talking about is I'm not talking about how the trauma or the mental state occurred. I'm still talking about the mental state. Their mental state is not normal. Something is going on wrong in the head, whether it's trauma or whether it's being deprived or whatever that thing is. They're not at a full functioning, level because they're going through a mental issue. If someone has, an injury or whatever, then they're physically disabled. Just like a mind have different,
Sir, move away from that
issues.
point. Why are you trying to explain something?
No, I'm
One
just
that does
saying,
not,
like,
you don't
so
have
what
the information on it,
the
and it does
point I'm
not
trying to make.
apply to you. Keep
Well, you
going
asked
with
me a
your
question,
point.
so I'm trying to answer the
No, I'm
question.
not
That's all.
asking you. I gave clarification because you're not the only one here, sir.
Yeah, or how it occurs definitely matters. But what I'm saying is that the result is still the same. That they have
Sir, you
a
don't have the expertise on what I'm talking about. Move on to your point.
You don't think that what you're doing right now is kind of combative, or you just
Sir,
you're
you're
allowed?
sitting here trying to explain the accommodations that children get in schools, and you don't know about the accommodations that children receive in schools. Why are you trying to add to that part of the conversation?
Because I'm capable of doing so.
You're not. You're
I'm
not.
very capable.
You don't
Just
even
because
know what it is.
I said I was not familiar with those terms. Of
Okay,
course, I'm familiar.
exactly. If you're not familiar with the terms, I mean you're not
That
familiar
does
with what
not
I'm
mean
talking
that
about.
that I grew up in school. I have
Sir,
experience.
being in the school does not mean you understand what the accommodation
That
is.
also doesn't mean that I don't understand as well either.
You don't understand it, sir.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I do. I do
No, you
know
do
that there's
not.
different
You do
classes with
not
people who
know.
have different mental and physical disabilities,
Sir,
and those
it's not a
kids are.
disability. You don't know what you're
It
talking
is a
about.
form of
It is
disability.
not a
It
disability.
is.
It is not a disability.
It is. Any mental problem or function that you're not having that's not normal is a form of
So
disability.
now you want to spread misinformation because your ego is hurt.
I'm not spreading misinformation. My ego is not hurt. I didn't come into this conversation with
Maybe
an
the
ego.
school system fails you because you clearly probably needed those accommodations, which is why you can't have this conversation right now.
Well, that's your opinion. I mean,
That's facts.
I'm pretty well off. But the thing about it is that you choose to judge to what you think.
Now
But
you talking
you're
about being well off, and I'm talking now you want to
no.
bypass
When I'm
like
saying about that, I mean life. I
no.
mean life. In life.
Sir, that does not mean you wouldn't have benefited from some type of accountability, sir.
So you don't think I was held accountable for my wrong actions? Is what you're saying?
You are confused.
And how do you draw that conclusion?
I'm talking about accommodation, and you're talking about accountability.
Accommodation. You're changing the subject now. I'm a little smarter than that.
You don't have the information to have this conversation, sir.
You're just changing the subject constantly.
You
So
are confused. No, you're confused.
I'm not confused at all.
No, you
confused.
are.
You're just trying to confuse me, but I'm not getting confused. But when you change the subject, I'll just tell you. But don't try to act like you're trying to say the same thing and then pop back over to another topic.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, tell us about a 504 plan. We listening.
I never was aiming to. I was trying to tell you.
Yes, you were.
But you wasn't allowing me to make my point. What I was saying is that people that have mental issues, yes, they do go to those classes, and they do get certain people that
you don't know anything about those accommodations, sir. Why are you still commenting on it?
Ma'am, my mom is a psychiatrist. I don't know what you're talking about.
A psychiatrist is not a school psychologist, sir. What are you talking
psychology
about? And that would be her
is the
expertise,
study of
not yours, sir. My lord. That would be her expertise. That isn't yours. Her being a psychiatrist is not the same as a school psychologist, sir. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And instead of moving on to your point, you're trying to prove something and it's making you sound dumb. Just make the point you wanted to make. That part of the conversation is not for you. I gave clarification so you know what's going on, but now you're trying to like add to the conversation, but you're ignorant on it. That's crazy.
Okay, so like I said, I'm going back to because what I'm saying is that people that have issues, let's just say issues, because some and your mind won't allow you to use the word. So I'll give you another word. People that have issues do go into certain classes, do go
No.
into certain
Not you
programs.
still trying to double back. This shit is
No,
crazy.
I'm not double back. Are you gonna let
No,
me
you're
talk,
saying I don't
woman?
want to. If I say don't use that word because it's not appropriate, it's not the most appropriate word. You lack the knowledge to have that conversation. Instead
You
of you trying to
will
move
not
on
allow
through
me
it,
because you keep
you want to double
interrupting me.
back because you can't accept not knowing about something about it, which is dangerous.
I didn't. You're telling me that I don't understand the difference between a child that's in one class and the special needs child and then
No, you do
another
not.
child.
No, you do
You're
not.
telling me
You
that
do
I didn't go
not.
to public school and experience these
Sir,
things,
just because you
and
was
you
at
can't
school,
tell me
have you
my
ever sat
experiences.
in, sir? Have you
You
ever sat
cannot
in
tell
on
me
a
my
meeting?
experiences.
Have you ever sat in on a meeting?
Sat in on a meeting. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Anybody
That's what
who
I'm
you
trying to
know,
tell you.
sir,
What
anybody
type?
who know,
What meeting are you talking about? I'm asking you a
Yeah, I
question.
just wrote it down. Just
any
check on my
hold on, sir,
comment.
hold up. Anybody who knows about a IEP or a 504, why am I getting a puzzle? Yo, I'm getting a puzzle. That's crazy. Um, Anybody who knows about an IEP or 504 will know exactly what meeting I'm talking about. You confused because you don't know what's going on. Just talk about what you know, sir. Not you looking it up. Lord. Don't you look that shit up and come back pretend like you know what you're talking about. What's up, Fluffy? He done look some shit up, y'all. God, he ain't gonna let it go. Go ahead.
I was trying to make a point, but you keep
It
cutting me
is a
off.
long meeting. Thank you, Chuck. You know what I'm talking about when I say the meeting. Goddamn. He don't even know about the meeting, but go ahead.
I don't know if you're gonna let me talk, so I don't really think we're really gonna get anywhere if you're gonna let
Why
me
be
speak.
passive aggressive? Just make your
I'm
point.
not being passive aggressive. If you're not letting me speak, that's what I'm talking about.
You're literally
Nothing
speaking.
passive aggressive about that.
You just
So,
spoke to make that point.
well, I mean, you keep interrupting me, so it's not helping any. You're not responding to it, so I mean, that's what I said.
We're not even talking about the prompt at this point, sir.
I'm trying. That's the whole talking about that was getting me to.
Thank
So
y'all
when she started
for
talking about giving kids toys and pets and stuff like that,
thank y'all for reaching a live goal. This man can't admit that he don't know what's going on. He's going to try to pretend to be an expert on giving accommodation modifications to children. So he lacks the self awareness and he feels so entitled that he's going to continue to try to make this point. Lord. I'll let you say one more thing and then we'll go to Sosaline.
well, I'll just say this: that I mean, throughout our conversation, we disagreed. I think that even if you say that I'm whining or I'm being emotional, I never disrespected you. I never
I
called you
didn't
out
say
your
you
name,
were whining.
and I never
I
cussed
never
at you.
said you were whining.
I'm talking about the comments. I never cussed at you. But if I was to do that, then y'all, the same people on here that's saying
Do
I'm
you
doing
want
that, they'll
to?
say that I was
Are you
toxic.
holding back? Are you holding back right now?
No, I'm not holding back. I'm just choosing to do what I was raised to do. I mean, I
So
don't
are
have
you?
to.
Do you want to go down in the comments, or you talking to me on the panel? Because I can't do both.
I'm talking to you right now.
And let's talk to me then. Why are you talking to the comments? That's a separate conversation, sir.
I'm
Why do
talking
you,
to whoever I please.
sir? Why, sir? Why do you listen to the question?
If you want to drop me, you can.
Sir,
But I'm gonna
sir,
speak to whoever I
sir,
please to speak to.
sir. Why do you disagree with the prompt?
I believe that men are held accountable for their actions. But I believe that men are held actually have a harder standard because like even now is a perfect example. If we express ourselves and say things, then you judge and you'll say, well, that's gaslighting or you're being combative. Or all the things you just said was perfect examples of why when a man does communicate, he's held to a different standard, a higher level of accountability.
I'm gonna mute you. Me saying that you're gaslighting, me telling you that you don't know what you're talking about is holding you accountable. The reason why you are whining and throwing a tantrum, because I'm saying it now, is because you don't like being held accountable, sir. Now you feel uncomfortable. If I was not holding you accountable and just letting you say whatever you want, you will be good. But when y'all held accountable, you don't like it. Earlier, you said you haven't been coddled. You've clearly been coddled because you feel uncomfortable when you're held accountable. That's the behavior of someone who is entitled and has been coddled, sir. Go ahead, Cicely. Celine. Go ahead.
Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The brother up top, he's not really saying anything condescending. He's just stating his general logic. That wasn't, is to be used there, reference as an insult to what he's saying. But we can continue.
Yeah, so I just think that we have to be mindful of what we think and, how we judge people off of, just having a different point of view versus, because I mean, anybody can come in and say, hey, well, you're being held accountable, so that's why you're upset. I can say you're being held accountable for, your misguided, speech of the way you see your views and where you're speaking about your views. I can say you're misguiding people. And you're not being held accountable for that. So when I held you accountable for it, what you do, you started cussing, you know what I'm saying? You lost control. But everybody in here saying I'm whining because of that. But I'm just pointing out the obvious. That's all.
If we got to work further through our issues as us as people or community, it's going to be some uncomfortable conversations, whether, male or female, whether it was male centered or female centered. We need to talk about these so we can get past these things and heal.
I agree. We definitely got to heal, but we can't judge each other to the point where we don't allow each other to communicate, because sometimes you take one little word twisted and you can go on for hours and days. But a lot of people think that men are just these loose cannons, but a lot of times is some guys are loose cannons because they're just loose cannons. Some people lose their minds because they feel like they were treated wrong, and it does come out because they don't know how to handle, I guess, anger, and they suppress it until they can't suppress it anymore.
And that's
It's so many different scenarios. So when you try to just put all men in one box, that's what we're gonna step up and say, hey, that's not the case. Look at it from this perspective. But if a lot of people can't look at it in a different perspective, they'll just say, oh, that's not the truth. Well, that's not what you
You know
see.
what the
That's
problem is, though.
Hold on,
Let's
hold on, Jamal. I'm letting him finish that circle jerk first.
no. I'll go ahead. I want to hear what
Are
you
y'all
gonna say.
done?
wow, the
Okay.
circle jerk, crazy.
All right, go ahead, George Mom.
So this is where we disagree. We disagree because, sir, this is you all proving the point that the women are making. You so desperately want to be our equal intellectually. You want to be right and dominant in the situation so much that you say the same thing over and over, trying to convince us that what we said was not correct and that your misinformation is correct. Let
Could
me
you give an
let me
example of that?
let me say this. Please don't interrupt me. I didn't
Could
interrupt
you
you.
give an
But
example?
again, you're desperate for attention. So I can either remove myself in the conversation, or you can
Yeah,
allow
I
me to.
muted him. You don't know how to unmute. You good?
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to say that to a great degree, I sympathize with you gentlemen, because it must be frustrating for you to look in the media every day to see how politicians and people of prominence and importance, how they can twist the facts, how they can take their feelings and make it a factual thing, and then make the media companies spin it, the way that they want it to be spent. It must be frustrating for you to see how they can gaslight, but you cannot. The difference is those people have power. You have none. You have no influence. You have no position. You also don't even have the vocabulary to make the argument that you're trying to make. You have to, as a man, recognize when you're outmatched, when you're ineffective, and when you have to change your approach. You can't keep beating your head against the wall trying to make us see a point that is invalid in the first place. This is why sometimes men use their hands. I didn't, but you're so sensitive. Your feelings are so tender. Anytime something reminds you of your poor behavior, your poor preparation, and the people that will not listen to you or see you the way you want to be seen, you'll become aggressive, whether it be micro, or passive aggressive, whether it be with your hands, whether it be abusive with your tongue, because you cannot handle being held accountable for being less than the standard. You're mediocre at best. And you think because you're not somebody walking around here with a hatchet hurting people that somehow you're to be praised. No, you're the bottom of the barrel. You're the bare minimum. And Black women are not going for that anymore, even in conversation. We want someone who can share with us and elevate our intellect the same way we elevate theirs. In that regard, you're lacking, sir. I suggest that you go somewhere, do some research, improve your argument, and come back on another day.
Thank you, George Bond. Hey Curly.
Hi Tara, how are you?
Good.
I just wanted to address something that Infinite said. He referenced how men are encouraged to express themselves only to be told that they shouldn't express themselves in a certain way. And from what I was listening and what I was hearing, it just sounded like the host was simply giving you a correction. Like, just because you express yourself doesn't mean people can't correct you or, disagree with you even. But from the sounds of things, it just seemed that the host was correcting something that you were saying or encouraging you to clarify what you were saying so you could express yourself even better. It doesn't sound like she's trying to silence you or snuff out what it is that you're saying, but you're taking her muting you or her interrupting you as a sign of trying to stifle your words, which to me is just indicative of the fact that you just want to keep talking and saying what you want to say on your own terms, and everybody just has to listen and agree. But if you really want to have a conversation, it goes both ways. Like, you need to be receptive to what people are telling you, and in turn, we'll be receptive to what you have to say. But if people hear you saying something incorrectly or they don't understand what you're saying, they have every right to say, hey, pause, can you clarify? And I don't understand why you're having such an issue with that. It does indicate that there's something deeper going on. Like, there's some coddling that's happened in your life, at least in my ears. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm gonna get my check to respond. Go ahead, Infinite. He not unmuting. What's up, MJ?
What's going on with you, Terry? You good?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I haven't had the opportunity to chat with you in a minute. I'm glad to be up here on your panel.
We've been here the whole time.
I know, but I be in these streets thumping people upside their head politically, so I don't always get into these spaces as frequently because a lot of times you're having conversations with the sisters for the sisters, and that's not a place for me. You know what I'm saying? So I try to only come up when those of the denser variety of my gender need to be mansplained to. Because y'all, everything that you've said has been very clear and concise, and I really don't honestly understand what the disconnect is in Infinite and others understanding what you are trying to convey. So yeah, Infinite, I know you having difficulty unmuting your mic, and that's a very perplexing circumstance, given that we all on TikTok and we pretty much know how it functions, but that's neither here nor there. It was a statement that you made earlier, brother, where you said that when men express themselves, women say that, oh, you shouldn't express yourself that way, or you're gaslighting, or this, that, and the third. And that tells me, if someone tells you that you're gaslighting. Oftentimes, I find that that word is being used incorrectly because what they mean is that you're lying to them or you're being deceptive or there's something that about what you were attempting to explain that don't make no damn sense. So clearly you have to no, sarcastic my ass, sir. Stop it. It's a circumstance where you have to understand that if you are an ineffective communicator, it doesn't matter what you say. It just don't, because you're not going to be able to convey what it is that you think that you're trying to say. So that again reflects back into being a personal problem. It's a you issue that has to be addressed. It's a circumstance that you have to understand that you clearly are not as educated and not as enlightened as you think yourself to be or that you would like to be able to communicate these circumstances that you're having in that relationship. So it keeps coming back to you need to work on you, brother.
Yeah, that's not that Dunley Kruger. And the thing is, the entitlement is crazy because I'm actually giving him an accommodation. He does not know how to unmute his mic. So I've been pausing to give him a notification to unmute his mic for him. There's no consideration of that. He doesn't care. It's the entitlement for me. But in real time, he's getting an accommodation. I just wanted to state that. I'm gonna unmute so you can respond, but you gotta actually push the button that was gonna time out Infinite.
Yeah. So I find it ironic that my intellectual or ability is being challenged. Like he said, I'm not, educated enough, and that's fine. I mean, that's the choice of a man that just gonna rate my intellectual ability over a conversation that I was cut off several times. I think that's kind of unfair. Just to address the young lady that was spoken about me, she was saying I was saying something about children that wasn't true. That's totally untrue. I was just speaking about how not everybody is like those kids, those that are in those programs. That's all I was at the gist of it was saying. But I think it was mixed up. I was getting mixed up because she was interrupting, and I was just saying, "Hey, let me speak," because I have a certain idea on the top of my head, and because we was just talking about a particular topic, and we shifted over, and you asked me to speak, and then you kind of interrupt me. So I'm like, "Well, what are we talking about now?" Now we end up talking about the programs versus the whole idea I was making about the programs. I'm just saying all men don't, go through that. They don't, have people coddle them and go through that. Then people was like, "Oh yeah, he's been coddled," and I'm like, if that's what you feel, I mean, yeah, my mom took care of me when I was a young boy, but she'll tell you that I grew, quick, and I've done things, a lot of people on this panel that speak about my intellectual ability can't do. You can't do it, but I don't think that I'm special or anything. I just think that it's a gift that I have, and everybody has their gifts. And yes, I do believe I need to work on myself. I work on myself every day. Probably more, kick myself more than y'all can kick me. So I know what I need to work on. But
I'm gonna mute you real quick. So one, I'm gonna say this one last time. The reason why the example you talking about children getting treats in the school had to be made to you because you took it personal and it wasn't about you. Everything else you saying is just like you were given the opportunity to get back to the point, you refused to do so. You decided instead you went through a tantrum. And when you talk about you being special when it comes to your intellect, sir, go look up Dunning Kruger effect. Because you're portraying that right now, like in this very moment.
Can
Wait.
I ask you a question, Infinite? You keep saying, like, again, the thing that I keep hearing in your responses is like, you didn't let me speak, you didn't let me speak, you keep muting me, you keep cutting me off. And that seems to be a point of high frustration for you. I'm also a person that doesn't like to be interrupted. So in parts, I get it. Like it throws me off in my entire train of thought when that happens. But the problem is if I'm saying something that's not accurate or that's not clear, what other solution is there but for the person I'm talking to step in and say, "Hey, I don't get what you're saying, or what you're saying is incorrect." do you expect that person to just let me to continue on indefinitely and say things that are inaccurate or not clear? Or do you expect me to course correct and say like, oh, my bad, and then, clarify as they're asking me to do?
Well, the response that when I was speaking, I was responding to a particular statement that she made. And she mentioned, and then another lady came in and they had a conversation. So I was referencing their conversation, and I was saying, hey, not all guys are like those children. Those children have issues. And I'm not saying that those children are bad or they getting caught up. Believe me, I've worked with a lot of mentally ill. My mom also was a group home, member, and my stepdad was as well. So I've been around them and I understand they have needs. And so it's just crazy that people will say that, because I've been and done more than people speaking on here about, what I'm saying, the people that they do things for. Yeah, you might have worked with their mind, but I work with them, so as a person. I've been, so, and they're people just like us. There's no difference other than they might have needs, different needs. So I was speaking on that and saying, hey, not everybody's like that, or not everybody has a mental rage issue, because it is an issue. It is a mental issue if somebody can't take words and speak to somebody without using their hands and going off and going crazy. Growing up, have I punched a wall? Yes, I have. If you're gonna say that I'm crazy because of that, I mean, judge me. It's all good,
No,
But
people would
do
say
I
that
have
you were
self-control?
emotionally imbalanced because of that.
Well, I mean, I'm not punching walls now, but do I
Not that we know
do I
of.
do I cuss when I get upset? Is this a behavioral assessment that you're giving me? Because
Sir,
I can ask you a few things. Have you ever, raised your voice in anger?
I raise my voice all the time on this raggedy app that we are both on.
That's
That's
what
not
I'm
the
saying.
point.
So it's
Again,
like we can
no,
do this
infinite,
back and
infinite,
forth. You know what I
infinite.
mean?
Sir, you are assuming yourself to have this higher standing than other people. This is why I
No,
said
I just
this.
have my
No, hold
standard.
on.
I'm
No,
not
sir.
saying it's higher, my
No,
brother.
sir.
I
No,
never
sir.
said it was higher. Where did I
No,
mention I
sir.
was higher than you?
No, sir. I didn't say. See, this is the
You just
problem with
said I'm
individuals.
assuming
This
myself
is
to say this
yes,
higher standard
yes,
of other
yes.
people.
I
And I
didn't
said to
say,
you,
sir.
where
I
did
didn't
I
say,
say anything about
sir,
being higher?
sir, sir.
Am I
See,
speaking English right now?
this is what we're talking about the emotional regulation circumstance. I did
Sir,
not
just because you
say
keep saying
you,
sir,
sir,
you're trying to intensify the
because
conversation.
I'm making my point and you just continuing your point through mine. It's very strange. But again,
He
this is
lacks emotional regulation too. I just want y'all to know that, like,
completely.
he's going to interrupt like indefinitely, which is why
Yeah.
I have to keep muting him and unmuting him to talk. He can't even control himself in this conversation.
Because again, the point that I was making was not that you said that you have this higher standard. You are conducting yourself, and the words that you are using and the way that you are framing your statements is
Oh no,
alluding
MJ, he
to.
did. He said he was special. Remember?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about that part. That's because I don't want to get, me, Tara. I get into them jokes real easy, and I'm trying to have an adult conversation here without the jokes as much. So the thing about it is that men have to understand one primary circumstance that has plagued us due to the patriarchal nature of the society that we come from is that the main thing that's going to always get us in trouble is our ego. The way in which we view ourselves comparative to who we are and what we are in the world. We believe ourselves to be more important. We believe ourselves to have a higher standard because patriarchy tells us that we're supposed to, because of physical dominance over the world. But it don't mean that you are more important. It does not mean that you are more educated. You feel yourself to be educated, and you probably are. But I doubt highly that you are as educated as you believe yourself to be. See, belief is a dangerous thing, my friend. Belief is a thing that'll have a man who played the Superman character in the black and white days jump off of a building because he thinks he can fly.
So
Belief
you're
is
saying that I should think less of
harmful.
myself because of what you
No,
telling me about me?
I'm saying that you should check your
You
ego,
think I should think
child. I'm saying
I
you
am
should
not a
check your
child, sir.
ego.
I'm a grown man. But see,
Sir, you are
you
a
know what?
child.
You don't have know
What
how to
ego?
have an
because
intellectual
because
conversation without
because
insulting me, and
I
I find
I
that
at my age
to
have
be
not
a
referred
sucker
to myself as
mentality.
a grown man. The way in
You
which I
can't
carry
have a
myself
conversation without
dictates that.
insulting me. You see what I'm
Hey,
saying?
see, here's the whole
That's
thing.
not grown man
So,
activity.
sir, do you not see
That's a
how
boy activity.
I just had a conversation
No, I'm
about
telling you, as
the
a grown
ego?
man, that's
You see
boy
how
activity.
your
It's
ego
not
just
about ego,
activated?
sir. It's
Sir, do
about
you see how your
respect.
ego just activated?
It's about respect.
Do
It's
you
not about
understand?
ego.
Do you
Any
understand that
man will
respect is
not be
directly tied to the
any
ego?
man will not be happy with you
Do
disrespecting
you
him.
not understand how respect is
All right.
directly tied to the ego?
It's not about
That if
my
one
ego.
believes themselves to be disrespected, even if they have not been disrespected, they will behave in a function from
You
their
are
ego
being
based on what they
disrespectful to
perceive.
me.
See, you're having a perception problem right here, my brother.
That's your opinion.
Yes, it is my opinion,
Your
but you're bearing
opinion
that
might be
out in your
backed by some of
actions.
these people in this room
Sir, you
because
are bearing
they
that
know
out
you.
in your actions.
But what I'm telling you, sir, is you have an issue because you don't know how to have a conversation without insults.
I'm insulting
You
you
know what I'm
because you're
saying? But you
capable of
saying
being
that my
insulted by
response to
fact.
your insults is wrong.
See,
But I'm saying,
do you
why
see
are you
how
insulting me?
factual assessment by Tara, by myself, by Jordan's mom, by
I'm just giving
Curly
you a
has
factual
triggered you,
assessment,
sir?
but you choose to disregard it.
Sir,
That's your
sir,
that's your
I'm not
choice.
disregarding anything other than your
You
fragility
are.
right now.
You
That's the only thing I'm
refuse to
disregarding.
respond to what I'm
I'm
speaking about.
ignoring the fact that you are having this temper tantrum right now
Not a
because your
temper
ego
tantrum,
has
sir.
been affected. It
It's
is.
not a tem-
It
it's not a
is.
temper tantrum. It's just
It
me
is.
speaking to you about, hey, why can't we speak about a topic without you insulting?
Again, I didn't
If you're
insult
so
you.
intellectual, why can't you do that?
Infinite. Here's
That's
an
all I'm saying.
infinite. Let me give you a contextual framing, sir. What I said is that you are not as intelligent as you believe yourself to be. You took that
And
as an
then I
insult.
told you why. Do you think I
Here's
should
me,
think less of myself?
sir.
And
Here's
then
me
what did you do?
insulting you. Here's me
They'll
insulting
know.
you.
We were
You're a
watching this,
fucking
right?
imbecile. That's me
You're
insulting you. I don't think that you understand the
that's
difference.
another form of insult. But
No,
that doesn't take
no,
away any other
no,
insult.
no. What I
Because you
said
forgot what you
originally was
did, bro.
not an insult.
After you said that, I said, "What do you think I should think less of myself?" And you said, "No, boy." And so I'm like, "Hold
Look
up,
at
bro.
you. Look at you.
What
I
are
didn't
you
say boy
doing?"
until after that fact, but okay.
That's
Like I
what.
said, your ego is bruised right now. That's what the
No,
circumstance is.
I don't like to be disrespected, but I'll tell you that. But the whole thing is, you're making the whole conversation
I
about
had
me.
not
You are,
disrespected you.
because you feel like you want to center on that.
I'm trying to be an uncle.
You haven't made a
That's what
point
I'm trying to
because
be.
only
I'm trying
point
to be
that
an
you
uncle
had
and
is
pass
that
down
I
some
should think
wisdom to
less of
you.
myself,
I'm
bro.
trying
You
to
not
pass
gonna.
down some wisdom to
You
you
ever heard
that you
that
don't have at my age.
Sir, I
You don't
appreciate
have it.
wisdom from men that know how to speak with wisdom.
Sir,
You didn't speak to me in a wise way, sir.
Sir, I've been speaking to you in a wise way.
That's how you
Tara can
that's
tell
how
you.
you mentor people.
Tara
That's
can
how
tell
you.
you. I
Nah, bro.
be on this app cussing people out when they're ignorant. That's what I do. That's my
If that's what you
little
do, sir,
brand around
if
here.
that's what you feel your life
I tell
goal is to cuss people
ignoramuses
out.
that they are dumbasses on this app all the time. Did I call you a dumbass, sir? No, I did not. I
Sir,
said that you are not as intelligent as you believe yourself to be. I didn't say you were unintelligent. I did not say you were incapable of intelligence. I did not say that you lacked intelligence. I
I
said
didn't
that
say
your
you said he knows.
perception, I said that your
I asked you a
perception of
question.
yourself
I
is
said, do
higher
you think
than
that I
the
should think
intelligence
less
that
of
you
myself?
actually possess.
Do you think I should think less of myself? Because what
I
you telling me,
said
I'm gonna ask you that
that
again. Do
you
you
should
think
humble
that,
yourself. Chuckle
bro?
pants.
You're not hearing no. You're not hearing my statement. Do you
Sir,
think all of what
sir,
you saying should make me think less of myself because what you
sir,
just said to
sir,
me?
you don't have to think less of yourself from a single
That's
word that I
funny,
said.
bro.
I'm trying to give you some knowledge from a person who's made it to 49.
I
As a
don't know
black man
everything.
who's from Chicago during the time frame when many people I grew up with didn't make it to 29. I need for you to understand that I'm trying to put you on to enlightenment. But if you don't want it, that's your choice. You can be in,
You
you know what's also infinite? A
you can't
circle is
enlighten me
infinite.
that way. That's why I'll just say that. You can't enlighten me that way.
Chasing itself, never ending. You can be on that circling yourself into infinity, sir, I honestly don't care. I'm trying to help you. Because I could come in here and be like, yo, young brother is too dumb to have this conversation with y'all, wasting y'all time. But I didn't say that. But your ego is taking it as if I did say that, because
No.
me saying that you are not the man that you believe yourself to be is an insult to you, as opposed to something that you should take with self-reflection and understand, maybe I do think too highly of myself. It's not to say that you should think poorly of yourself, but maybe you should check yourself. Maybe you should to take a moment to take an assessment of who you actually are comparative to who you think you are.
I agree with
But
that. I
that, young
like
brother,
that. I
you
like that.
continue to think
What's the
whatever foolishness
MJ?
I
you
like
would
that.
like.
I like that.
Hold on,
I like that.
MJ.
But at the same
Hold on, real
time,
quick. Hold
no
on, real
one can
quick.
force
Hold
me
on, real
into
quick.
what they
Hold
think
up,
about
sir,
me.
sir,
That's all I'm
sir.
saying.
Hold up. I'm glad you found the mute button. MJ, you know about the allegory of the cave?
Yes, I've heard of it.
That's what you're experiencing right now.
Now I'm an alligator. Oh my god!
Allegory. This is
I
what I
thought she
was
said
just
it.
talking.
I thought she said an alligator. That's what I heard.
I promise you, your lack of comprehension.
I heard her
and-
say
and
alligator in a
focus.
cage. She didn't say
Boy.
allegory. She said.
Oh,
I never heard the gory part, and I wasn't talking over her either. I heard alligator in the cage. That's what I heard. That when she pronounced
Boy,
it.
this is crazy.
She didn't enunciate. Okay, I ain't hear nothing about
Again,
Everybody
allegory.
heard
Tara,
the enunciation.
Tara has a very clear Maryland accent and everything, but her
I
words
did not
are
hear
very
allegory.
clear. She enunciates very well.
I heard alligator, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't hear that. If I did hear alligator, you know what I'm saying, I would say
Way
it.
in the morning.
Lord.
Type fit.
It's the lack of self-awareness for me. Goddamn.
Completely.
Nah, my self-awareness is very high. I'm just on the internet.
Unfortunately, you believe that.
I'm on the internet, you know. I'm enjoying myself. I just got off a few hours ago. It's been a long day. I got a guy out here telling me I should think less of myself. And then somebody that's
I'm telling you,
calling
you
me
should
out.
humble yourself. You should take a clear assessment
Bro,
of
I'm
yourself.
very humble. If you listen
You
to what I'm
you
saying,
absolutely are
you will
not.
see that.
Sir,
You think
are
no?
assuming,
I just don't.
You are
You
assuming
want me to bow down to you, and
you
that's
are
not
assuming,
that guy,
sir.
bro.
I have never asked a single man to bow down to me in life.
Okay, so
You
what
will
you
not
want
be the
from me,
first.
bro? What you want me to
You know
do?
what I want
I'ma
from
be-
you? I want from you to take a look in the mirror and be honest with what you actually see.
I do.
Not
Every
with
day,
what
my
you
brother.
not with what you think you see. Because right now you think you
I
see
don't think
a
you
man
know me. You don't know me very well.
You believe that you are grounded. You are not grounded, you are restrained. There's a big difference between grounded and being restrained. Restrained means that you are holding yourself back from your true impulses. That's what you are doing.
That's how
If
you
you're
feel.
grounded, you allow for your impulses to move through you naturally because you have control over yourself.
I speak
You
how I
don't
speak.
have that.
I speak with passion.
You try
I'm a
to speak
writer.
very.
I'm a speaker. I'm an artist. I speak with passion. But
You're a speaker
you
for
might
sure.
confuse that. Hold up, Chief. Listen, you don't know me, but you might confuse that with anger. But
No, I didn't once
but
say
I
that you were
will.
angry.
I will
I said
defend
you were
myself
repressed.
verbally, and I'll tell you, hey, that's not how it
Clearly,
is.
you don't know what
And I'll tell
repression
you,
means.
this I don't allow people to play with my mind, sir.
Clearly,
So
you don't know what repression is.
you're trying to say that I'm restraining and I'm not grounded. That's what your first statement was. Because see, I have to replay things you say, but you don't know me. That's what I'm saying. So you would have to know my voice patterns,
Sir, I don't
my
need to know
mannerisms,
you.
to know me
I
as
don't
a
need
person,
to know
how
you
I speak,
personally.
bro. I'm from
I
the
don't
South.
need
I'm
to
from
know you
Jacksonville,
personally.
Florida.
You're
You
not
don't
special.
understand.
You're not
You
special.
don't understand me. You
Sir,
don't know me, bro.
You're not special. You're not this.
You're more angry than I
You're not
am
this
because
Rubik's
you come
Cube
in.
that has to be figured out.
Bro,
Sir,
I'm not
if
trying
you
to
are
be
a
figured
Rubik's
out.
Cube, all of the colors, all of the sides have the same color. No
And
matter how you turn it,
did
it's the same thing.
where did figuring out come from? Where did that part come from?
Because
I never
you are
mentioned
the
that.
one who
That
deemed
was on your
yourself
mind, bro.
special
You
on
telling
this
everything that's
live.
on your mind.
I
You're
mean,
telling everything.
There's literally no ridges or curves on your brain right now. I'm so confused.
Hold up
Okay,
real
I'm
well,
being
quick.
very,
Hold
I'm
up
being
real quick.
abundantly clear here.
Hold up real quick,
that's
y'all. Hold
okay.
up.
Thank you, sir.
Curly, hold up. Curly or
You're not
Socialine.
as smart as you think you are. That's what.
I
Sir.
know. That's why I read and I learn every day.
Hold up, y'all. I'm putting y'all in timeout. Curly or Socialine, did y'all want to say something? I guess not. All right, y'all go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Socialine. I see you unmuted.
Wow. I mean, it's a lot of give and take from the conversations from what these gentlemen have been saying. You know, I mean, I don't have much to say. I don't even know what to say. I believe it's a very, very constructive conversation that they're having. But I think Infinite, he looks at it as basically what MJ was saying was, I guess the way what he's saying is a form of disrespect, meaning as in insult. But I understand what MJ is kind of saying, far as boy, far as what the conversations had to be. Do you understand the really constructive criticism? But I mean, I have no insight with it. I'm just gonna let it continue. But I mean, they're on the right path, but you know, it's just try to have the connection there.
Okay, all right.
I'll land that plane.
Curly, did you want to say something? All right, Curly then walked away. Go ahead, y'all. Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, I respectfully say this, that, you know, I'm not, claiming to be special, but I believe that my mother always told me growing up, you know what I'm saying, that I was made of greatness. So don't get me, what I'm saying, mixed up because I believed it, you know what I'm saying? And I've done great things. But the thing about it is, I think that each person's supposed to have a certain esteem. Not, I wouldn't say an ego, but you got to believe you're about something. And the only way you really start to believe that is because you've done things and you're doing something. And you put your hands to work and you make things happen. Of course, you have help. I'm not saying I did it all on my own because I know a lot of things can be pulled out of what I'm saying, but I'm just saying I made a few things happen in life. So that's what's important, man. But to say, you this and your intellectual level that and you need to do this, I only can say that about a man if, he's wronged me or done me wrong, you know. So I just think that, it's a certain way of speaking to a man that if you saying that you're trying to mentor or give me good advice, it's a certain way you convey your speech when you do that. You can say it's ego, but at the same time, you don't speak to everybody like that,
The
You don't
laziness
talk to
and the
your boss. You don't
childishness.
talk to your boss like that. Certain ways. I'm just saying, let's be respectful.
Absolutely, I talk to what? Again, first and foremost, I am an adult. I'm not grown. I am an adult. So I understand how to have hard conversations in the proper fashion, no matter what arena that I'm in. So yes, exactly how I've spoken to you today. I've spoken to managers and bosses and vice presidents and presidents of companies that I've worked for. So the circumstance that you're having a difficulty with is I didn't come to you, oh, come on, young brother, like listen to me real quick, like this is this. Like I'm not here to be passive or gentle or soft with men.
You ain't got to be
Because
soft.
here's the circumstance. No, sir. That's precisely what you asked me for.
No,
because you're
I'm asking
asking.
you to be
No, you're asking
respectful.
for. No, sir. I've
Be
been
respectful.
respectful. I've already clarified this. I'm not going to repeat myself.
But
I'm
I
not
can
going
name
to come
several
in here,
insults, but it's
sir.
all good. I just don't take it well because at
I
the
know
same
you don't
time,
take it
if
well. I already explained
if
that
I'm
because
not
people
doing
like
that to
you
a
have a
person,
problem subjugating their ego long enough to
it's
listen
not
to
about
others.
ego, bro. It's
It
like
is.
respect
It
earns
is.
respect, man. You
No,
don't have much.
no,
You don't have good character.
no,
Just say that.
no.
You know what I'm
First
saying?
and foremost, sir, you
But
don't know my
I don't care
character from a
what you're
cup of
talking
tea.
about. That's not how a man speaks to any man. And think
Again,
like you can't make me
sir,
challenge my
you
own
are.
mental
I'm
state
going to repeat myself. You are a
and think
child.
that I'm not
You are
gonna
a
challenge you
child.
back. You know what I mean?
You are
It
having
doesn't
a
make sense,
temper
bro.
tantrum because I did
I'm
not
not
come
having a
to
temper
you and
tantrum,
give
bro.
you
I'm
a
a grown
cookie
man.
first and let you snack on the cookie while I gave you the lesson.
No, I
This
just
is
think that
exactly the
you didn't like
circumstance
what
that we are
you didn't
currently
like that I threw
experiencing.
that cookie back at you and told you what I thought about you. You know what I'm saying? Try
Like
to
I said,
feed
you're
you
a
the cookie.
child.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a
That's
child,
that's why you're
and
upset.
this is honestly a waste of a conversation because I
Well,
thought that you had enough intellectual wherewithal to be able to be challenged,
now
to
you
be
got pushback.
criticized, and stop for a moment and think.
I haven't
Rather
heard
than that,
anything of
no,
substance.
again,
I
no,
haven't
you
heard
are the
anything of
definition of
substance.
a person. You are the definition
I
of a
haven't
person
heard
who
anything of
listens to
substance.
respond rather than listens to comprehend. This is why women tell you that you are a gaslighter because you are a freaking liar. You lie to people. You lie to yourself first and foremost, so you
No,
can't help but lie to
that's
others.
one thing. I'm not a liar.
You
You
are
catch a lie,
100% a
then you
liar.
got a thief, and I
As
don't
I
steal.
typically say, you are a lying liar who lies.
See what I'm saying? And you're saying this, but this like that's what I'm saying. These constant insults, and that's what your boy
Again,
was
no,
talking about. But
that is my
yeah,
first
y'all
time
saying he
actually
wants to be
insulting you.
coddled. But if
That is my
somebody
first
said,
time
let's say I
actually
just started
insulting
throwing
you.
out stuff like that to the
That
host,
is
the
my
host would be
first
like,
time
hold up,
actually insulting you.
chill out,
Now,
bud, and she'll
check
probably
that.
mute me.
Second time, when I called you a child, was the first insult. But
I mean,
I don't
I
understand.
think you
I
trying
don't
to get a
understand why
rise
you
out
can't
of it or
shut
something
your
like
mouth long enough to open your ears to hear people.
hear you, but you ain't saying nothing of
But you
substance.
can't
And then I
because
keep hearing
exactly
so many
because
insults.
literally
No,
once
then
I
I
took
keep
a
hearing the
breath, you
insults,
opened
so
your
it's
mouth
like
to speak.
this
Once
guy
I
here
took
really
a
ain't.
breath, you opened your mouth to speak. You don't listen. This is
Go
why
ahead,
you
bro.
have the difficulties. This is exactly why this prompt is absolutely correct. You don't want to be held accountable.
I
This is
can
the
be
thing.
held accountable
You said
to
something to
anything
me
I
earlier
do.
that I didn't get a chance to fully address because Tara was asking me for us to pause to ask Curly and Sosaline to get into the conversation.
I
What
was
I
muted
was
that whole
telling you,
time, bro. You had
there you
ample
go,
time to speak.
talking as soon as I take a breath.
You wrong though, because you
Again,
had ample time to speak because I was muted that whole time.
sir, stop whining. Again, the circumstance
Man, I'm
is
just being
I
honest, bro.
go out of my way
You've
on
been
a
whining the
daily
whole
basis.
time talking about
I
I'm
go
whining.
out of my way on a daily basis to try to improve myself every day. You want to know why? Because I'm not perfect. I don't believe myself to be perfect. I have no illusions of being perfect. I have no illusions of being special. I have only the awareness that I am a human being each and every day trying to be the best human being that I can. Do I stumble? Do I fall? Do I falter? Absolutely.
Sound like it's maintaining to me. I ain't trying to
But
just
I
maintain.
learn
I'm
and
not trying
I
to just
grow. It
maintain.
ain't
I'm trying to do
maintaining.
great. I'm trying to do great things. I'm
When
going to
you
do
learn
great
and
things.
grow,
I'm
you're
not
not
gonna
trying to
just
do nothing.
maintain.
You are a regular working class stiff like the rest of us. Stop acting
No,
like you're
sir.
going to be
No,
the
sir.
next Jeff Bezos. You're
Sir,
not. All of
sir,
these delusions
sir,
of grandeur
sir,
are
stop,
your
stop,
ego.
sir,
Until
stop.
you do those
All right,
things,
sir,
you
sir,
can't tell
stop.
us
You
about it
don't know who you're speaking to.
because you're wasting all of our time. I do know
You don't know
who I'm
who you're
speaking
speaking
to.
to.
I'm speaking to somebody who is on here because they
Bro,
have not achieved
I'm an
what
employee
they
and I
claim they
own a
want to
company.
achieve. That's what
Well,
all of
you
us are
actually,
doing.
but you think what you like.
Because
I'll
guess
let
what?
you think
Guess
what
who's
you
not
like.
on here? Warren Buffett's not on here. Jeff Bezos is not on here. Bill Gates is not on here. Elon Musk is not on here. People
You
who
don't
have
know who
actually
the hell is on
accomplished the
here.
things that they wanted for life have not been on here. All of us regular folks, we're here having conversations amongst ourselves.
Bro, you definitely don't know nothing about
You
econ.
what? I
You
don't
don't
know
know
nothing
anything
about you and I
about you.
don't care
You
to
don't know
at
anything
this
about
point.
econ because see, you're listening to respond because I ain't say
What are
be
you
your
talking
tongue.
about? About
You
econ?
don't know about nothing about internet e-commerce to say what you just said.
Sir, you pivoting to a conversation about internet e-commerce when I was
I
not in
mean,
any
that's
way,
a
shape, or
strong
form
statement to say
speaking
that
about internet
Jeff
e-commerce
Bezos isn't on
shows
here.
your utter and
Dave
complete
Chappelle isn't on
ignorance.
here. Martin Lawrence isn't on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start a name dropping, so I'm trying to say that influencers like Mr. Beast and all these people made their money from being on
Okay, so
websites and social
I'm gonna
media,
be clear this time. I'm
like
gonna
on
be clear
here.
this time. You're a dumbass.
Okay, with
Absolutely.
that.
And
Okay,
that's not
bro.
an opinion. That is what you've demonstrated.
And I feel like you just an
And I know
insular.
you
You don't
feel
know.
like
You
it
don't have
because
no intellect.
you gotta get
You
back
don't have
because your
no
fragile
intellect.
little
You just
ego
know.
says I gotta get
No,
back whenever
I can
somebody
take a
said
shot.
something mean
I
to
can
me.
take a shot, and if you was out in front of me, you probably wouldn't say a lot of all this stuff.
Sir, I
You see what I'm saying?
guarantee you, if I was in front of you, I'll say every word and I wouldn't be
But
concerned
the
about
thing
you doing
about
a
you
thing.
is,
But
you ain't
each and
been
every
around
time,
nobody that you can't just talk crazy like that too.
sir, I am from the city of Chicago, the West Side. You have no idea what I've come from. None. So keep your mouth shut. See, this is the
But the whole
problem.
thing about you saying though,
Children like you, all of a sudden want to reach into their
people
pants and
throw
be
out
like,
Chicago
no,
like,
I
bro,
do have
I'm from
testes
one of
and
the hardest
everything.
cities in
Once we
Jacksonville,
have these
Florida, man.
circumstances,
I'm down
because
here in
each
the
and every
banger,
time, I don't care where you are in Florida, where I grew up would eat up your whole state. Shut up.
bro. It's not a war. That's what you want.
Sir,
I'm not worried. I'm not
Sir.
worried about nothing you talking
sir,
about, bro.
hush,
I'm well protected
hush,
by the
hush,
Most High. I fear no man.
hush. Because like
You
I've
can
been
keep your
saying
little
the
insults
entirety
to
of the
yourself
time,
though,
you
Chief,
are
because
talking
I ain't
from
gotta
your
get on
ego.
the
It
internet
is
and
the
call niggas
exact reason
dumbasses
why
and
individuals
think,
like
bro,
you always get to this
it's
point
niggas
of,
like
if you
you
was in
that
front of
don't
me,
know
you
how to
wouldn't say
have
that
a
because you
conversation
believe
without
yourself to be
insult.
a man that you aren't.
It's
And
people
you are
like
not
you
that man.
that are not intellectual,
You
don't
are
know how to
not.
have a conversation without insult. And if a man tell you, hey man,
You are
speak
not.
with some type of dignity and act like
You
you
are
got some type of
not.
class, you just
You
don't
are
got no
not who you
class.
believe
You
yourself to
just
be.
don't have no class at all,
You are
bro.
not.
You don't know how to speak without
You are
insult.
not.
That's why I'm talking to you like
The
you can talk,
entirety
call
of
me a
this time,
child, but this
as a
whole
man,
time
have been trying to hold
you
you
display
accountable
more
as a man,
childlike
and you
tendencies.
have been flailing around like a
You
toddler the whole
have
time.
gone on with more childlike tendencies, calling me
I know you
dumbass.
not talking.
These like little high school jokes you saying. Oh, you dumbass. You're not as smart as you think you are. Like,
Hush.
bro, you sound like a
Hush.
jit. You sound like a
Hush.
jit, a young
Hush.
boy. But the
Hush.
thing about it is, you're calling me that. I'm like, wow, bro, just talk to me and
Hey,
tell me your point.
hey, where
You
does the
got
word
upset.
where does the word
You
jit
lost
originate
control.
from? What
You
word does
lost
that
control,
word
but
originate from?
you lost control.
What word does that, sir? You've been spiraling out. You were the one.
I've
If
been
you was
speaking
in
my
front of me,
point.
you wouldn't even say all that. And you talking about I'm
I
spiraling,
didn't
sir.
say I ain't say you was making
Sir,
fun of me. I said you
sir,
insulted me.
grow up. Grow
I'm
up.
grown.
Grow
But
up. No, you aren't.
we don't walk
No,
around here
you
doing
aren't.
that down here,
You
bro.
are
So you
of
walk around
legal
on the west
age
side.
at best.
So you walk
You are
around on the
of
west side
legal
just
age
disrespecting
at
people on the
best.
street. So
Sir,
you walk
you are
around
of
like a
legal
badass
age
on the
at
streets of the
best.
west side. Hold up.
Sir,
Be honest.
you are of legal
You
age
ain't no
at
grown
best.
man. You
You are
can't
not
answer the question.
grown.
You ain't no grown man. You can't answer the question.
I don't have to answer a single question
You
from
walk
you. I
around on
don't
the west
answer to
side just
children.
disrespecting people,
I
bro.
don't
That's what you do.
answer to children.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't answer to children.
You have no type of you just ain't a man. You can't answer a question. You telling me
Stop
you walking
whining.
around disrespecting people on the west
Stop
side of
whining.
Chicago? Come
Stop
on, man. Just be
whining.
honest with yourself. You don't
Stop
be out there
whining.
talking like
Stop
that. So
whining.
just
Stop
ain't
whining.
nobody whining. You just
Stop
ain't got no
whining.
type of substance to you. And you thought I was
Sir,
gonna
stop
come here.
whining.
Oh yes, sir. You right. Nah, bro. You
Yeah,
ain't playing in my mind. You ain't
sir,
intellectual enough to play in
sir,
my mind.
sir, stop whining. You
You want me to
wasted,
to
first and
succumb to
foremost,
you.
Infinite, you've wasted
If I was
entirely
one of
too
your
much of
boys,
Tara's
then
time.
I would have
First
sure
and
came
foremost,
to it.
you should
Nah,
apologize for
ain't nobody
wasting
whining. I'm
Tara's
being the
time.
man. I'm telling you,
First
no,
and
that
foremost,
ain't
you
going
should
down.
apologize for wasting her time. I don't even want your apology.
You are a
I
bit
feel
waste of
sad.
time.
I feel
You had
sad
no
for you,
knowledge,
sir.
bro. You
I
had
feel
no
sad
knowledge.
for you. I
You
feel
had no
sad
knowledge.
that an individual like you, who's clearly, I'm a guess
What
23,
knowledge did you share? None.
you're going to be this exact same individual in 20 years because there will be no growth, there will be no development because you can't be honest with yourself.
You
Of your
can't be honest with
deficiencies.
yourself that you don't know me and you don't know what
I
I
don't
have.
need to know
And you
you.
don't know what I've
I don't need
accomplished.
to know
That's
you,
what your
but
problem is. You don't
I've
know
known
me, bro.
hundreds of
But you
useless,
want to know
pointless
because
individuals
if you
like
was,
you.
you don't know me to say
I
that.
don't need to know you personally
That's
to
your
know that I've
problem.
known
That's your
hundreds
problem.
of
You think
pointless
that you're smarter than what
individuals
you
like
are.
yourself.
You think you're smarter than what you are, and that's where you misunderstand. You don't know what I
Sir,
accomplished. You don't know
sir,
what I've
sir,
done.
I'm
in
not
what I'm
smarter than
doing.
I am. I am smart as I am.
You have your signal is off, buddy.
Uh-huh.
I'm no deadbeat.
Tell us
I'm
more,
no
little
deadbeat,
fella.
not by far.
Tell us more, little fella. Uh-huh. Yeah. We
That's what
know.
you want. That's what
We
you
know.
want to
It's
know.
I know. It's sad.
You
I
want
know.
me to be
I
me to
know.
be down.
I
I don't know
know.
why.
It's sad. No, I don't
I
want
wish
you
the
to be
best for
down.
you.
I don't want you to be down. I
I
want
wish
you to
the
be
best for you,
better.
my brother.
I want you
And that's
to
how
be
I'm gonna play
better.
the high roll on it. I want the
I want
best
you
for
to be
you.
better.
But you
Sir,
seem to want
sir,
me. You seem to want me to
you
be
can't
bad,
possibly
bro.
even get to
You
the high
seem
road
like
from
you
where
want me
you
to
are.
be down, or you want me
You
to have
can't get
nothing.
to the
I'm this
high
dumb
road
nigga,
from
right?
where
I'm
you
supposed to
are,
be a dumb
sir.
nigga, right? I
Look
know.
at you,
I know.
spiraling
I
out.
know.
You can't
No,
get to the high
I
road
ain't
from where
spiraling
you
out,
are.
Chief. I'm being who I am. This is who I am. If you can't
Yes,
accept it, that's on you.
useless and
That's
pointless.
on you,
Absolutely.
Chief.
You are definitely being who you are.
But you spiraled out when you couldn't
100%.
control your tongue and just speak without cussing and saying,
Sir,
"Oh, well, you're a
sir,
dumbass. I'm gonna say it
sir,
now.
sir,
I'll wait 5 seconds before I say it."
sir,
It's like,
sir.
bro, get out of here with that
You
childish
are a
ass shit.
dumbass. And the moment
Okay,
that you
bro.
address that and better yourself, the better off you'll be.
I'm way
Until
better than you,
then,
bro.
you're going
I'm
to
way
keep
better than
spiraling
you.
out. You're going to keep suppressing your emotions. You're going to keep staying in this
I'm gonna
repressive
be
state
who I'm gonna
and
be.
continue to fail yourself.
Just like
That's
you
all it
spoke
is.
how you spoke, I'm gonna speak how I speak. You can't tell me what to do, bro. Yeah, that's your opinion. And I don't know what
Again,
you accomplished.
this is the
I don't know
thing.
what you accomplished. You know what I'm
The thing
saying?
you
But
don't
you talking
have
about
to. You don't have to. Here's the
I'm a
thing.
worker.
I
Yeah, I
don't
work at a
come
warehouse,
on
but I
these
also own a
apps.
company.
I don't come
So
on these apps
what you talking about,
proclaiming
bro?
anything that I've accomplished because I'm not here to
I've
measure
owned a business for
accomplishments.
the past
See,
10 years, sir.
this goes back into
You
the
know what I'm
same
saying?
standard that women have
So
seen
what are
from
you
men
talking about?
consistently, where individuals are consistently on these dick measuring circumstances. And I don't have to whip mine out to measure mine with y'all. Because I
So
can
how? So
measure, I
why'd you
can
come
look
in?
at you
Okay, so
and know
why'd
you
you
don't
come in
measure.
here telling me that I'm not smart or I should be more intellectual and I'm not educated? What was that? That wasn't no dick
It
wag.
was
That was you.
a
Okay,
wiser,
then, bro.
older
Stop
man
it. See,
trying to
this is what
put
I'm
you
saying. These
on
chumps
to
come on here
your
thinking they so
shortcomings.
intellectual. Broke you
It
down in
was
2
a
seconds, bro.
wiser,
You
older
came in
man
here.
trying to put you on to your
You
shortcomings as
wasn't
a
putting me
young
on
man.
the shit. You was trying to make me think less of myself, and
Sir,
I disagree with that.
at what
That's
point in time did
a
I tell
real
you to
man
think
gonna say,
lesser of
"Okay,
yourself?
bro." A real
When
man
did
would
I
have
tell you to
let this
think
shit
lesser of
go. All
yourself?
right, bro. I
I
feel you.
said that you should humble yourself.
If a man tell me, "Hey, look, I'm gonna
If you think being
highly of
humble is
myself,"
being
I'm
lesser,
gonna let that man
then
think
you
highly of
are the
himself.
failure that I believe you to be. 100%.
Okay, well, you believe
Okay.
what you believe about Chief. That's on
Absolutely.
you.
I'll do that. I will continue to believe what I believe. Thank you. I appreciate your kind offer for me to believe what I believe.
You can believe
Thanks.
what the hell you want to believe,
I
bro.
know, little fella. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
That's your problem.
It's okay.
That ain't my problem.
It's okay.
That's
It's
your
okay.
lack
I know.
of knowledge.
I know this is the first time. I know this is the first time that a man has been honest with you in your life. I know. It's okay.
Man, look,
It's okay.
you ain't half the man I was raised by.
It's
Chief.
okay. It's okay.
You have the man I was raised by, because
It's
I can
okay.
tell by how you talk.
Again, I can
A
tell the
real
type of
man,
men that
test a
raise
real
you.
man, he know how to
I
talk
can't.
without
You
insult.
first and foremost, any actual
We don't
man
go
will
around
never
here doing that,
call
because that
a
could be the
man
threat
a
to our
real
hurt to our
man.
families and the
You
people
know.
that we
You know.
love.
You know who? And this is not even an attempt to besmirch
Not a
individuals
wise
in the
man at all, bro.
LGBTQIA plus community. But the only time I've ever really heard the phrase "real man" came from men who are interested in men. I
Man,
never heard "real
you can say
man"
whatever
come
you like.
from the lips of
Yeah, I'm
individuals
promise
who
you,
are
everything
not
that you bringing up,
attracted
bro,
to men.
you telling
So
me what's
again,
on your
I
mind.
know the men
That's
who
all you
raised
doing right
you.
now, is telling me
I
what's
know
on
the
your
men
mind.
who taught you. Because if the men who taught you were worth their salt, you would actually be able to be reflective. But you're
Bro,
not able to
you
reflect.
telling me
You're
everything
not.
that's on your mind. You know what
You're
I'm saying?
not able to reflect, sir.
I'm able to reflect very well. You just
On
don't like
what?
how I reflect.
On
And
what?
that's your opinion. That's your opinion. And that's what I say.
Coconut Lord, we are
If
off
you're
the
gonna
rails. That's what
psychologically
we
tell
are.
me there's
Because
one way
I'm
to
done
reflect,
talking to the young yapper down here,
this
but
guy
he
just don't
doesn't
know.
understand when conversations have concluded because his emotionality makes him have to have the last word. So yeah.
Yeah, well, once we got into that spiral, we just went back and forth because you weren't gonna recede and I wasn't gonna recede. That's what I was trying to tell you. Is
It's
like, 'cause you know how
concede, not reseed. We are not bodies of
recede meaning
water.
to Oh man,
I mean, I know your
water is not
hairline
the
might
only
be
thing that
receding, but
recedes. You look it up. Water is not the only thing that recedes, man. Stop it, bro.
I know I just said your hairline might be receding, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, so
In
understand
regards to argumentation, it is concede. One stands down from their argument via concession.
Now look up the
Like
word
what?
recede. Look up the word recede.
Sir, I'm not looking up a word that I already know what it
Okay.
means.
Okay, so then you use that. You can use that word in the proper context to fit the sentence, man. I'm not here to
It
have
would
no
be
English
nice if you
professor
had
with you.
used it in the proper context, but here we
Okay,
are.
whatever, bro.
Back to you, Tara.
You wrong. You think you right though. You dead wrong though.
Is it back to me? Um, Let me just say this, okay? Sometimes I'm about to put a poll up, y'all. I want y'all to make sure y'all. Thank you for subscribing, Nina. Make sure I do the poll. Not all heroes wear capes, y'all. Because sometimes we sit here trying to prove the point, and we gotta go through all the bullshit. But MJ just came in here and did the labor. Shout out to MJ, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all give MJ, because he just came in here and did the labor. That's all I gotta say. Make sure y'all do the poll.
Well, I think the room was already tilted against me. So, I will say that, he came in with some real insults, and he went with the intellectual, platform level, like, he's smarter than me. But then he mentioned that we all working class. Yeah, I work, but I also own, a couple of companies, and I have for over 10 years. So when people think that they know you, just because they say, oh, you don't have the vocabulary, or you can say that, but what you think that I lack, I make up in a lot of other areas. So, you know, I don't really, let
Just
the
real quick,
insults
if y'all
bother me,
haven't
but
done the poll, make sure y'all do the poll.
I will tell somebody, hey, look, Chief, you don't know how to talk without insult. I think that's just a healthy conversation when you can do that. And that's what he did. He couldn't be held accountable. And this all goes right back into your topic. He couldn't be held accountable for the way he was coming at me. And so I guess, by me saying that, oh, then now I'm, what I'm saying, I'm whining. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, okay. That's an approach you can take. But no man's gonna take being disrespected well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that even a woman, a man, or a woman coming saying something to another woman that's disrespectful, you're gonna get a response. That person might try to ignore you after a while, but if the insults keep coming, you're like, hey, bro, we can't have no conversation without you. Keep saying that. If
Mm-hmm.
that's not a healthy conversation, two adults can't really convey a good dialogue. We can't talk and have anything shared that has any substance, because it's these, oh yeah, let's have this challenge of who brain is better. And we lost the whole point.
You got it.
So
Nina, you say you didn't understand the point. You can come up here and get clarification. They go to poll results. 71% of people gave this case study a 5. 14% gave it a 4. And then Nina was a little confused and gave it a 1 at 14%. Again, shout out to MJ. I mean, I don't know what else needs to be said, to be honest. I'm gonna put this one in the archives. I think the work is done here. I don't know.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah.
okay.
The level of coddling and a lack of accountability is harmful to everyone. And this problematic behavior need to be checked. But how do you check it when the person lacks self-awareness? How do you check it when the person doesn't know what the fuck is going on? What do you do at that point? So Celine, you want to say something? So Celine,
Is it safe in here? Nah, I'm playing. Yeah. I mean, just hopefully that we could come to a form of formidable and understanding between between the two gentlemen to have a better understanding and insight. But yeah, I don't have nothing to say. I'm gonna retire on this one.
um,
I'm
do
sorry.
you? No, it's fine. Do you feel like there was any issues with accountability?
Um, in some form of matter, I mean, yeah, it was. You know, on the uh, Infinite's part, um, I think it was in a matter of words. It was somewhat of a little bit of a lack of understanding. But I understood what he was saying in a sense where he felt like he was highly offended. So therefore, it was a reaction to that offense. But I don't have a leg to stand on. That's not my fight. I don't have a dog in that fight.
So you, hold on. You think the reaction was valid?
To a certain aspect, but I think it was getting to an degree of understanding during that conversation, and it just went horribly left. But again,
Hold up. So
that's just my insight. I mean, I
why do
have.
you think it went horribly left?
Wow, you gonna keep throwing that out there? I couldn't tell you. I
Well,
couldn't tell you.
I'm asking for a reason because earlier you was in a circle jerk, and I want to know if you have the capability of actually holding someone accountable because you seem neutral.
No, I'm very mutual, but if I would call someone out, and I would say it, but I think in the lack of better words, where Infinite, where he said, it was just the way how things were said. Like he felt like his intellect was challenged in that
Do you
sense.
feel like do you feel like his intellect was challenged?
I mean, it's to a certain standpoint, but I'm not the one to judge. That's that those are his emotions, his feelings. You know,
Do you think that's how people should respond?
me personally,
Hmm.
I mean, I probably had a different input and listened more to understand what the gentleman was saying, MJ, and then I would form, my criticism and critique later after understanding what the concept was and not reacting. But
So do you want
that's
to give
me.
some feedback to either one of the men on the panel, like direct feedback?
I think I just kind of displayed what the actions and the cause and effects was. But I mean, as far as MJ, um, he's very good with his words. He has a distinct understanding. He's very like almost whimsical of what he speaks. Um, I just think that as far as that conversation, it was some enlightenment what he was trying to talk to him and display to the young brother Infinite. But I think in that matter it wasn't received due to how he felt at the moment of his ego kind of being bruised. So therefore, that information wasn't uh, and like reciprocated. So therefore, it became like a almost like a combative state where he felt like he had to redeem himself on the way how he felt. But that's just me personally speaking.
Do you feel like he had an opportunity before it got to that point?
Yeah, it definitely was.
So if that's the case, who was the aggressor in this exchange?
Um, as far as the aggressor, I think after where he felt Infinite, it was an
No. Just say who was the aggressor. Just say who do you believe the aggressor was?
at the end they both were, but I mean,
No. You just said there was an opportunity before it got to that point that something could have been done,
correct,
right? So at this
correct.
point, can you just state who you believe the aggressor to be?
You when you ask that question with me at the end, they both were, but for sound points, I would say Infinite because the way how he felt because he carried on, but it you know
How
it
you
it
do
was
you
both
notice
carried
that?
on.
Hold up, you're
That's just
cowering
me.
him.
That's just me. That's just me.
Bro, here's the point. I said the fact that men in society are coddled instead of held accountable for their actions is problematic. Whether you are engaging in the behavior or not, as a bystander, you're complacent. So in this moment, when you can hold someone accountable, you decide to coddle, which means you're part of the problem. I'm gonna ask the people in the chat, who do you believe the aggressor was? I think it's unanimous. So infinite people are saying unanimously that they believe you're to be the aggressor. What do you think about that?
I disagree, but you know, it is
Why do you
what it is.
disagree?
Well, I just was stating my opinion. One of the first things was, I believe that I believe better in myself than I am or whatever. And I was like, well, do you think your opinion of me, what I'm saying, should change how I think of myself? And I couldn't even get it out because that's what he really went off. But then, I was about to say something about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, like, yeah, why would you think what you think of me make me change? It's like it's like a phrase. Like,
Do you
why would I do that?
you
So
understand when people give you feedback, they're not feedback isn't about the person. It is not someone saying you are. They're addressing your behavior. This is why it's important that we can take feedback. Because when you can take feedback, you realize, okay, this isn't defining who I am as a person. It's addressing my behavior. I'm still with who I am. I just need to shift my behavior. And if you're able to do that, then you can do better. But if you take any ounce of feedback as an attack on who you are as a person, then you're not going to be able to get anywhere.
yeah, and I could take that type of criticism, but I believe when that information is mixed in with insults, I don't take it well, and I don't think that I should have to take insults in with information. You can give me information without insulting me. Now, if you're feeling that you can't speak to me without insulting me, in the world I live in, you stay away from people that's trying to constantly cause confrontation with you, and you live your life. Um, Being that we're on the internet, we're able to have a little longer talk, whatever, and I guess scream across the phone or whatever. But my thing is that I was the whole time, I pretty much everybody was gonna say that I was the aggressor. I mean, come on, this is your panel. They know MJ, they know you. They probably shouldn't say that I wasn't because that's where you're leaning towards. I mean, I didn't think that I was gonna win that poll. you know.
So what you
So,
could do, first of all, the poll isn't about winning. It's about communication.
well, it's either
So so just so
favorite to
just so
me
you
or
know, I'm putting a video on YouTube. If you want to go back and watch the video without the comments, without the biases, and look at it again, see if you see something different. Because us seeing ourselves is different than being in a moment. What's up, Jordan's mom?
yeah.
Hey, so I wanted to say something, and please know, you know what I'm saying, that this is just offered in a spirit of fairness and decency, and in a desire to want to help. Sometimes you have to know your own limitations. And if you're not going to be honest with others, you have to at least have the courage to be honest with yourself. I think many times in these conversations, sometimes a man looks at another man and recognizes that the other man is a better man than him, in better position, making better choices, having better results, having better opportunities. Because men are by nature competitive. And so when you are a person who finds yourself challenged at every turn, who finds yourself unaccomplished, you have that inability to thrive and to put your life in the position you wish for it to be, and you come up against a man who is clearly a better man. He can express himself better. He's received better. His delivery is better. Everything about him is polished in a way that you are not, but wish to be. Sometimes the response is aggression. Sometimes the response is microaggression. Sometimes it reveals about you those things that you wish to keep private. You show your worst character traits. And that's what happened here. You find him to be a better man. Something about him exhibits characteristics that you would like for yourself. And instead of
No, I
having
don't find
respect
him to
for
be a
him,
better man than
I'm
me at
I'm
all.
speaking again. You can't control yourself. That's another terrible quality that you have.
Well,
You're
you
never
said
gonna
something
measure
about
up as
me
long
that
as you
wasn't
stay
true,
quiet. That's
so
your
I was just.
problem. You don't want anybody to tell you about you. You
Well, that's
exhibit
not true.
everything
I
that
was
is
just gonna say that.
repulsive
I'm
and
gonna leave it at that.
repugnant about low functioning people. And yet you expect everybody to tolerate it.
No,
Everybody in
I'll
the
just say
comment
that that's
section,
not true. That's all
everybody
I'm
in the
saying.
panel has told you that you have room for improvement and you cannot accept it.
I do too.
You
Yeah, I
sir
do.
are an
I agree.
embarrassment.
I agree that I do have
Let me
room for
save
it.
my conversation for someone
But
who
you can't
matters.
tell me that I
You
believe
have a
he's a
good.
better man than me.
I was having a dialogue as was allowed by the host. You do not have the right, you know, to interrupt me or to tell me what the hell I mean. What you do
Uh,
need to do is invest that energy in self improvement and self reflection.
well, I thank you. I do that a lot, but there was a lot of anger there. But uh, I just don't. You know, you're not gonna just say things about me that's not true, and I'm not gonna say, "Hey, that's not true." I mean, and if it's a conversation, I think that I should be able to speak. I gave her a good lengthy time to speak about how she felt about me saying that I believe that he's a better man. You know, he's more polished. I mean, if you like the
You
gentleman,
didn't give me anything. That's your problem. You think you have the power to give somebody something. That's your
what I'm
problem.
saying
You're
is, I was.
powerless.
I mean, if that's the
You
way
do
you
not
feel, man,
empower anybody, not even yourself.
I can't
You
make
don't,
you.
and you're so dense, you don't understand that.
That's how you feel. You know, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you know, I'm a very thoughtful individual. I just think that I when you were speaking, I didn't cut you off, is what I'm saying. Until you said something about me saying about him being a better
You're
man. That's
weird. I didn't cut you off until shut up. You making up your own facts.
what I'm saying is you said that I believe that he was a better man than me, and I just simply said that's not true. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that he's a better man. If you think that he speaks better, he's more polished than me, that's your opinion. Maybe he does
You don't
articulate.
think that he speaks better, that
Maybe
he's
he
more
does
polished than you?
articulate his words.
You don't
He
see
does
the
have some
discrepancy,
qualities
sir?
that I don't have.
An
But
honest
what I'm
question.
saying is,
You
you
don't see
said
the
that I wasn't
discrepancy
accomplished.
in the
No,
way
no,
that
you
he
made a lot of
portrays his
assumptions.
gentleman, and the way that he
You was
presents
long
his
winded. You
salient
said I wasn't
argument.
accomplished. You said
You're not.
I haven't made any goal. I haven't
You're
set
not.
any goal. And that's the thing. It's
You're a
like,
whole nobody, and you're mad because we're telling you the same thing that people in your order
fam,
tell
I'm
you, that you're
understand
a
why
whole nobody with a
you.
bad
So you really
disposition
believe that?
and an unwillingness to listen.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's what you. I'm a nobody from this conversation. That's what you got. Hey, look.
And you whine.
I'll let y'all think what y'all think of
What
me. That's
grown
wild.
man whines?
I'm
Get a
not whining.
pacifier.
I'm just appalled. I'm
I would
appalled by it.
respect you more if you got a pacifier.
No, if that's what if you want to disrespect me and say I'm whining, then that's fine too. That's cool. I'm just saying, look, I'm more accomplished than probably half the people on this panel, if not all. But the thing is that's what you want to believe. I have to let you believe. I'm not here to prove that to you, but
The
I'm more
way that you
accomplished
can
than you
just
think.
pull stuff
I'll just put
out
it
of
that way. I'm
thin
more
air.
accomplished than
The
you
way
think.
the way that you can make a comparison. That's not even a comparison.
But you got to go tell me that I think another man is better than me. You're tripping.
You're sitting in a car in the middle of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, blazing, having an argument where you have elevated yourself to the point that you think you're elevated. You think you're more than you are. You're a whole nobody.
That's how you
That's
feel.
not the first time you've heard that, and I can assure you it won't be the last
No
time.
one ever told me that I was a nobody because people know
I
who I
did
am in real life.
several times.
People on the internet like you that don't know me, you think that holds some weight versus the people that actually know me and my actions? What do you people on this internet be thinking? Like that it's really gonna make me feel bad about myself? No,
You should.
I wouldn't allow you to do that. But
A
you
grown
you
man just
probably you
blazes
know
with
what people
just
most people
because
that
that's
project
what's
things
wrong
like
with you.
that, you must be
Put down the
unaccomplished.
pacifiers and pick up a book.
You can pick up a book and I pick up a book as
It
well.
is very evident which one of us reads. It is very
Now
evident.
I read as well.
The back of a cereal box does not count as reading.
Okay. That's what you think then. Okay.
Um, thank you, George Mom. I appreciate y'all. Um, I appreciate y'all for coming up. I think the point was made. I haven't done a lesson in a while. I think tomorrow we're going to talk about like the psyche of a personality with the ego and super ego, to kind of like piggyback off of this whole conversation, I guess. But yeah, I think the point was made. Might run this prompt back again. If y'all want to catch the beginning conversation or listen to it again in the background while y'all doing something else, I'll put it on the YouTube tonight. But I appreciate everybody who came and tapped and supported and comment. Y'all some real ones. Good night. Thanks, Star Course.